We'll be on. All right, check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, we're live. Great. Thank you for joining Hoffcast tonight. I am Hoff, and I just first and foremost want to say Veterans Day. We should at least recognize it and honor the people who served our country throughout decades and a couple centuries now, to give us our rights and our freedoms, and we should continue to try to defend those freedoms. Tonight's Hoffcast is going to be kind of a... It might actually turn into a weekly thing, maybe. We were just kind of discussing this, but first and foremost, we just wanted to kind of go back because we feel we were robbed on the last one on Tuesday, and we really want to talk again and have the discussion we planned to have then. So I'm very, very happy to welcome back Lowry. How you doing tonight, bud?
What's up, Hoff? Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being on, man. I'm glad you actually wanted to be on again. Even though the last one, you know, went
last week was a train wreck. Well, it wasn't last week. It was still this week, but it was early in the week, right? Yeah, it was a bit of a train wreck. And for those of you that weren't there, it was I went on a tirade against, Dr. F, who we won't mention, who is a JESUIT POS, and we think the AI sort of picked up on that and locked us up. So I'll be a little easier. He doesn't deserve to have anyone be easy on him, but I'll keep it for the censors and try to keep you from getting any check marks. You didn't get any action on that, did you?
No, not yet, but I did want to say I looked at my current situation. I'm down to 1 strike. I guess I went the enough time without another strike. I'm down to 1 instead of 2, so that's good news for.
Do you remember what your strikes were from?
Yeah,
did they give you a description?
I did. I mean, I don't remember the exact videos, but it was for medical misinformation, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, talking about the stuff, the potion,
stuff, the bee.
Yeah, and man. It was on, or not only that, but it was on videos I did months prior. Like, they didn't strike them right away. It was months prior, and I did a live stream. This happened twice. I did a live stream. They struck a video I did months prior. A couple weeks later, I did a live stream. They struck a video I did a couple months prior.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh my gosh. They didn't strike the live streams, though, which is weird because I normally say some crazy things on live streams.
That is weird.
Welcome to Hoffcast. Hey, Hoff here.
You just muted. Sorry, hold on here. Where did you go? Lost your sound there for a second. I don't know what's going on here.
Am I muted?
Let's see.
Oh, they got us again, man. They got us again.
You're not. Can you hear me?
We're both good again. It's
like
happening again, man. It's happening again. Here we go again.
They do not like us. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Hear you. Can't hear you. So,
on the video, you can hear both of us though, because I'm listening to the video.
Mute. 2 check 1 2 2 2.
Yeah,
I can't
hear you. We can hear
you.
both of us on the actual video. You can hear both of us, me and you. Oh yeah, good idea. You can still hear both of us live.
Let's see. They are after us again, man.
Check your headphones.
I can't hear you.
Check your headphone.
Yeah. I've got everything in here. I'm gonna turn this off and turn it on again.
As soon as we start, we're not even in. We got a target on our back or something. I don't know what's going on. Now I can't hear him at all. I can't hear you now. Well, everyone, it was a short show tonight. All right, I'm going to mute. I'm going to meet him backstage and come back in 5 to 10 minutes, please. We're going to try to get this going again, okay? Hello?
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
Sound
like
check.
every week, some sort of weird thing.
At least
gremlins
we
in the
didn't have to
machine.
make a whole new stream again. I'm glad you're back on this
Yeah,
one.
man. I mean, just it's crazy, man. It happens every time. I don't know what's going on. They know we're here, man.
They know, dude. They're watching me. I've been struck. Thunderstruck.
I'm just kind of digging up my old tabs here. Okay, I think somewhat.
So
in
we're
the
trying to
right
get back
spot.
on track. Thank you to anyone who's still watching. I want to have a shout out to Spicy Sarah. How are you tonight?
What's up, Sarah?
And also my buddy Shane, who's corrected his name finally for YouTube. So yeah, my buddy Shane from work. We talk all the time. I hope he watches a little bit tonight. I'm gonna actually send him a message because he likes watching. He watched our last one. He really liked it. So
Awesome.
I want him
Awesome.
to
Yeah, man.
watch this one.
So where were we? Veterans Day, right? Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Hope everybody out there is good. We appreciate your service. And yeah, and we were talking a little bit about Astroworld. Yeah, again, I went through there was a bit of artwork that went around that showed, that head that they all walked through at the concert. And it appeared initially that it might be some predictive programming through The Simpsons. And through further research, it looks like it was just some artist, like fan art that was done in 2018. So there's really nothing you could say about it in this one because it could be a fan of both the rapper. Yeah, there you go. So, and here, and you can see this. You can see the head there. Now the artwork that's shown with The Simpsons is from 2018. Did he use this head in 2018? I'd like to know if anybody knows. Because if you want to, if I can share my screen, I'll show you what Simpsons
I'll stop sharing
artwork.
mine.
Okay, so this is what this is what the fan artwork showed. So here comes that.
Hopefully this doesn't F
Yeah,
us.
here we go. Let's see. Okay, so what you have essentially is you've got this was fan artwork from 2018. Now that's 3 years ago. Was he using this same head 3 years ago for Astroworld or for a different concert? We don't know. But it's definitely not from 1992 Simpsons episode.
If you look at, to go back to your point, we don't know. It looks like some of the other heads, like this one's different. I believe this one is from this year, from what I've seen. And then you see some different ones. There's like this one that looks completely different, maybe from a couple years back.
Well, here I'm gonna show you something else here, and this is some other artwork that just went out.
I wasn't even sharing my damn screen because I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'll do this one, then we can go back to your screen. So check this out. So you can see that it's different colored light here. It's daytime in this one. This is nighttime over here. So if it was artist renditions, then they did two of them, both during the day and at night. Okay, so you've got a lot of muddying of the waters going on here. It's to me, it just feels like somebody photoshopping and trying to play an information war. So like, I don't think, even though I do think The Simpsons is predictive programming, this one looks like it's just somebody's trying to get people to bite on this and then run with it only to find out that it's not.
Debunked by Lowry.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go, ladies and
just me.
gentlemen.
That's just me. Again, somebody can prove me wrong. But let me get out of here. Go back to yours.
I wish I had a thing that just came up and said debunked. Huh.
Debunk. Bam, like a. All right, stop this. Okay, you should be back, I think.
Yeah, I'll bring mine
There we
back
go.
up here in a minute.
Anyway, so the Astroworld thing is really like it's boiled back down to me. It's still some very curious things. Clearly, there was a stampede. The testimonials of all the people who were talking about shortness of breath, not anything related to the stampede. Now look, there's the head. So
this
that's
one's
the
from
death head.
2019. This one's from 2019, right?
Does he use that every year in every one of his
I
concerts?
guess so. Yeah, because it's like a portal. And I don't know if you listen to the band Avenged Sevenfold. I kind of like them up there back in the day. But this looks like the death bat, the skull with the wings, I don't know if they stole it from them or they stole it from someone else, but, it's very reminiscent of that. Anyways, yeah, I guess he uses this kind of portal to the Astro World or Astral Plane every year.
Okay. All right, perfect. So, like, I'm pretty comfortable with saying that that's just bullshit that's out there, or it's fan art or something. The only thing that's winding down for me about this thing right now is the testimonials they're out there, but they're also getting scrubbed which is not people that were involved in the stampede, but the people that were suffering from like some sort of crazy shortness of breath, and they weren't being crushed. They were just a certain part of the venue tended to have more incidences of this thing. And then there's a bunch of testimonials out there that people wanted to leave even before the show started, and they didn't know why. But I can't, that's as far as.
Well,
Some crazy ass. I heard a bunch of. Again, this is rumor mill 101.
you cut out for a second. You cut out
Can
for
you hear
like
me now?
5 seconds there. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm
but you
hearing
cut
you
out for
now.
like 5. That's why I said
So-
well. I wasn't saying well to what you were saying. I was like, well, I can't hear you. Yes.
Let's see. So you can hear
So
me now, right?
are you debunking this too? Are you debunking the Satan ritual?
No,
aspect?
not that. Not that. I think there's still a whole bunch of curious things about this, especially the Fast and Furious of testimonials that were coming out from kids that were talking about events that had nothing to do related to with the people running through the gate. In other words, the stampede clearly caused some issues. It was other people that said they left before the show started, without it being in a stampede or without any problem. They just said something was wrong. Either they weren't feeling good, or there were some people that were obviously shortness of breath. There are reports of people just dropping on the spot, purple faced. So that needs to be validated. I mean, wherever those testimonials were, because I went to look for it, now they're just buried in the Google, so you can't find anything.
Yeah.
TikTok scrubbed anything coming out of there, so there's nothing coming out of there from TikTok or anything else.
Did you hear the rumors about there was someone like injecting people?
There was actually a cop on TV
Like a
that
security
said,
guard.
There was a security guard that said someone stabbed him with something, and I mean, it's a security guard. Is that a credible witness? And they said that it was actually a cop.
Why would you do it to a security guard though?
Yeah, it's really bizarre. It's like there's so much misinformation about this event, but I mean, I still look back on the one very thing. It's like when they start scrubbing things, it means there's something up. It means something isn't right. And of course, the news lies. So like, they say 8 people dead. You could probably add a 0 to that.
Yeah, dude. From what the eyewitnesses say, they said bodies on the ground all over.
Yeah.
They're going from person to person, trying to resuscitate them, and if they didn't get them, they just moved the next body on the ground.
Yeah. Did you hear they were calling them the official name that they were supposed to call them in case of a mass casualty event was already in their planning book before it even happened? So
Smurfs?
I guess you have that. Smurfs. You have that because these things have happened in concerts in the past where you've had. I
actually have some audio up for that we can play here in a little bit if you'd like.
Yeah, man, I'd love to hear it. So, like, I advise anyone looking at this event, just be very careful. I'm only interested in, like, the eyewitness testimonies on people that had fallen that had nothing to do with the stampede, and that's really all I'm focusing on here. Everything else, all the bullshit surrounding the Simpsons stuff, everything else, that's just all. It's muddy in the waters. So, like, if you guys know of any, like, send some links, or if you've got a place where testimonies happen where they weren't, what's this?
My buddy Shane saw something that now he says he helped save people by pointing out people who were getting trampled at once. That's not English, buddy Shane, but I appreciate your comment.
Yeah, so we're gonna I don't know. This is yet to be seen. This is something. It's also getting squashed in the media. It's just gonna go away. It's just gonna go down the memory hole. So
I think he meant some points to bullshit, but.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on it and that sort of thing, but that's all I can work with right now. And you've got kids on the ground.
I love you, Shane. No homo, but I love you, bud.
Yeah, do you have that audio? Do you have it pulled up? Do you have it ready?
Yeah. Right before, luckily, before my stuff went out, and I was able to get it all back restored. So let me just pull it up real quick here. I have a lot up here. I think it might have been... There it is. It's right here. Okay. So... Let me stop sharing that screen and do a different one here. Alright, are we up? Cool.
Yeah.
Folks are coming out of the crowd complaining of difficulty breathing,
Can you hear that?
of crushing type injuries. Seems like the crowd is compressing, from what I could tell. I was on the Delta side and I probably saw at least 4 or 5 people pouring out of the crowd, just trying to get away from the crowd. The comps are still going on. The crowd is compressing, is compressing, and you know, the intel we're getting is that the barricade might be compromised or being compromised. So the crowd is compressing.
Hey, can I have the air please for a few seconds? Can I have the air for a few seconds? Hey, I'm going to be at the medical tent, and there's a lot of people trampled, and they're passed out at the front stage.
343, we're in the front of the stage. We have security up there. The people are taking them to the back.
The unit asking about trampling, I guess they're pulling them out and taking them to the back.
They were getting multiple reports that we found unconscious in the crowd.
HBCP to unit interrogated reports. Right now, that crowd is super thick, super dense. If you go in there, this could possibly turn into an officer rescue situation, and that makes it extremely dangerous for everybody. So right now, if you can get in on the perimeter, get to them. If not, try your best to echo commands into that crowd to help out. Other than that, be careful.
Well, they have to stop the show because there's people trampled and they're not breathing.
You guys are doing well. Take a breath. Everyone's doing a good job. Now listen, what I need is for people to get things under control at the medical tent. HFD's been advised. They are listening to our channel, and they're pulling people in to come and help, okay? Help is coming. Just take a deep breath and relax. We'll work through this.
Does anybody have eyes on Seth with Live Nation?
TP to anybody that's close to Seth with Live Nation. Can you advise?
The counter's down here. We're here right now. Let's be back over.
They're overhead right now.
HB4 box. Give us an update on what you see.
And that comes from TMZ too. I mean, it's still that could all be just from they said the crowd was compressed, which that would be.
You also heard the Smurf thing a couple times in there, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, what you're right now is this is how this I think is going to go. It's like you got a couple of stories out there that there were a lot more deaths than they reported. MSM says.
Why do you think they do that? To make it so they can get away with this more and more, like so they can get away with it at all, and it not be as big of a deal.
Well, I mean, if it is what some of us suspect it is, you have to have counter stories to muddy the waters. So people get lost in the narratives and they just stop. Their brain gets tired and they stop looking at it. Initially, I remember right when it first started happening, you had a flood of people being like, people were just dropping, but now you hear that, it sounds a lot like that the stampede and the pressure and the compression is doing a lot of that, which would, if you get smashed between one person in front of you and one person behind you, you're gonna suffocate if you're getting crushed, right? So yeah, this is the fog of war at the beginning of something like this. I still believe there's something amiss because they know how many people they can fit in that place. They know how wide those gates need to be to go in. Most crowd control systems, they know what the dangerous limit of how many people can go in. So if the ticket seller oversold the concert, I mean, they're in deep shit. But
yeah.
Again, you're not gonna, because they're not pursuing the story anymore. The narrative
does, like,
is
a stampede happen at a show, especially that size. I mean, it's happened a few times, yes, and
it happened.
I've seen like some videos recently where the band actually stops the show, or even like completely quits the show.
Oasis had it happen in.
Yeah, I was watching a video of that last night. Yeah.
So what you have is like if there were like, and this is the counter narrative, or the I guess the truther narrative on this one was that the initial stories that came out where people were just falling down, is that goes along with the 5G and the testing. It was a big testing ground for the 5G because the only thing everyone had in common in that concert was you had to be vaccinated to get in there. Now was there people
and watch
in
the
there?
V word. Watch the V word, bro.
Yep. They had to be V'd. Anyway, so they were, that was a perfect testing ground to try out the, ye old millimeter wave. And there were some testimonials of people who were like, we don't know why we felt bad. We just felt bad and we had to leave. Those are gone now. If someone has the links to any of those stories, man, like put them in the comments. But at this point in time, the only thing we can say is we know what it looked like. We know what it felt like intuitively. But, so far, everything that's still out there in the media suggests just stampede. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now, even though my intuition says something completely different than that. You know, because it's the harvest season, you know, and those of you who know what I mean by the harvest season, I don't have to explain it on here. And that was a perfect testing grounds to do that thing. So there's your Astroworld update.
I got a couple other things to say, man.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Travis Scott, first and foremost, man. This guy's Illuminate confirmed for sure. This guy, he had a McDonald's meal, corporate with the music. This is crazy, man. Like this he's got like he's pushed to the forefront every time.
Wait,
he farts into a microphone.
Did he do that?
Look at this, dude. Look at this. So here we got the all-seeing eye. We got the pyramid. We got the all-seeing eye, and you have to go in the portal through the astral plane in order to get into this new utopia, as he says. That's what he calls this in his new album and stuff. And you get in there, and then he talks about like he starts out with a dove on fire flying through the air, and then midway through the show, while people are dying, he tells people to put their fingers up in the air. And I wish I had that clip. Maybe I do somewhere, but I don't have it offhand. But this is Illuminati, insane Satanist rituals, in my opinion.
It has all the pieces, all the ingredients.
And I don't know if it was intentional. I believe it was, I believe it was planned to some extent. But regardless, you know that Travis Scott didn't stop the show.
No.
He refused to, even though he knew what was going on. And that's the crazy part. I've seen videos where he's seen it. He's seen what was going on, and he was like, "Nah, let's keep going. Let's keep raging. You know what you're here to do."
Well, it's not like he's trying to hide it. I mean, all the pieces are there. Every single piece of symbology,
that, right?
Yeah.
You see the pyramid and the all-seeing eye right there, and the flames.
Not even trying to hide it. Not even trying to, right under your nose. And I'm trying to, like, as far as surfing this event, you know, responsibly. It has all the symbology. It has all of the elements. It has everything that you would expect from an event like this. And again, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that I truly, really do respect. You know, their research and everything that they do. That this is the season of the harvest, and when they say that, the harvest of the souls, and it fits the bill. I mean, that's what I can say about it right now. It fits the bill. I'd like to see more testimonials from the people. I really want to know. About the outliers of what happened, like if they got trampled, if they were in part of that big congestion, you know, there's nothing really we can argue in there. It's where we can really like pick this thing apart is if we can get, you know, any sort of alternate death count that happened, and then find out from witnesses, did they just drop dead? Because that's what I'm really interested in. Because I've been following, you know, the 5G narrative for, you know, 5G as it relates to the V. Since it started. Can you
hold on to that thought real quick?
Yeah.
Because what you just said, about this concert here is the same thing you could say about the pandemic going on. The pandemic. That's exact words. You could say the exact same words, and they apply to each. Man, how likely are we either to get each? And there's all those eyewitness narratives that even come from hospitals or this show. Are just buried, like you said earlier, and I that's what I wanted to point out was like it was just so similar. I could have just picked my spot there with whichever, and I think this is a common theme which is going on in media. And man,
I mean, you can walk this all the way back to the, you know, we've all seen the Winter Olympics in Russia, the opening ceremony. Well, most of the opening ceremonies in the Olympics are creepy. You know, and so they have all these same earmarks. That, you know, you go to watch a Beyonce show or a Madonna show, they have the same earmarks. It's all showing the same thing, and that's, you know, there's, count all your pop stars right now, they're all doing the same stuff. So let's just say we accept the symbology of the show as just, let's just say we call it, well, they're just, you know, they're just trying to be edgy. Okay, I can buy that. They're just trying to be edgy. They want to be cool and hip or whatever. It's the frequency of it, and the fact that the only people that are having crowds like these have been, you know, I'm not going to say most, but I would say a greater portion of these people who get elevated onto these stages are, they're puppets. They're put in that place to affect other people. The best description would be influencers. You know, only they influence through music as opposed to influencers on, say, you know, Instagram. So this is to get the hearts and minds of a lot of people.
Yeah.
What's
Just
that?
like Turbo Turb, my brother from down under says this goes deeper than shark shit. I'm saying, yeah, we can go real deep on this, man. Like
It has, yeah,
no
it has
doubt.
it has every earmark of it. Like where I will be.
It's checking all the boxes on the checklist, man.
So when you walk through it, like again, I don't know, they might bury this story and it disappears down the memory hole. It's just what they like to do, and there's so much things are coming out like wildfire right now.
Okay, I'm also like, I wanted to make the point that what I said earlier about the death counts of each. Like on one hand, one is higher and the other one is lower. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to point out. I didn't want to say that they were both lower, you know, than what they were, because that's a false thing. But also, I'm not about fear mongering, but who would want to go back to one of Travis Scott's shows after one of them?
Oh, that was part of the testimonial stuff.
Or maybe, well, go ahead. But I want to say some people would actually want to. That's like, oh man, we're going to Travis Scott show. It's dangerous. But what were you saying?
There probably still are those kids that are just, they're just kids, man. When I was 16 years old, I wanted to go to rock concerts and raise hell. That's what I wanted to do. I mean, I understand what that is. Like, they've been locked up, for 2 years, forced to take a jab, and all they want to do is go out and have fun. I mean, when I was a teenager, we didn't have these problems. So they're obviously desperate to get out and just have life be normal the way they understand it again. So, they throw a concert like this, and it's outdoors, great weather, and it's somebody.
It got canceled last year, from what I heard. So.
Yeah, so they're like doubly excited, and they get in there, and so you have the stampede. I'm not surprised that happened. This, just analyzing it like just piece by piece, though, it just, the more you see it, the more you understand that this is a program. This is a program for the hearts and minds of people. And who are the most influential or influenced people in this realm we live in? They're the young kids. Their brains are soft and
Absolutely,
moldy.
man. I'm guilty as charged. The shit I liked when I was younger, man.
Dude, me too. And like,
Mitz, good evening to you. I'm glad to have you here.
And you know what? Like, you have to look. How do I reconcile it? Like, there's so many musicians that I know they had to. They got grabbled. They had to do the thing, and they had to shill out, and eventually they're going to be asked to do a favor for the machine that made them famous. It's all the same. It's all the same. And like, it was the saddest day of my life when Pearl Jam came out like earlier this year, and they said, go out and get your vaccine. I was like, yep.
No.
You got grabbled. And you know what? I love their songs, and it's a hard thing for me to get to it. Like,
Dude,
how do I listen?
Fighters. Oh.
How do I listen to their music anymore when I know they took the shill pill? So you have to just. They made great music. I can still appreciate the art that they made, but the people that are behind what they did together, I just there's no idolatry there at all. I just appreciate listening to a good song. That's just me. I'm a musician.
Do you also think that like they're being pressured? Like, a lot of these artists, I don't even think might believe in this stuff. They just, if they're anti this, they're put into a whole different realm. Where they'll never be accepted ever again.
You get a bunch of young guys hungry to be successful as musicians, and you're like, look, you want to do this, you're going to have to be on board with this, but at some point in time, we're going to ask a favor of you. And at that point in time, when you're 18, 19 years old, and all you want to do is rock out and like be a rock star, they're going to be like, sure, man. They don't really understand.
Sarah's calling you a shill, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's you.
Yeah. They don't understand when you're 19 years old and you're like, man, I just want to rock. And then by the time they get to be mid-30s, mid-40s, and they realize, what did I sign up for? Because you don't get out of those contracts. You don't get out of if you try to get out of those contracts, you are in deep doo-doo.
If you try to speak up, you're even worse.
They're just going to crush you, and that's just how the beast system works, right? So also, I'll make a note of that. Like, just as being a musician for 20 years, there were years where I was like, dude, I really could use some label help. Like, just please, let's make this happen. Because we're skating on thin ice. And then I realized now, in all retrospect, that I dodged a bullet. I still get to make music, and I don't have to answer to what I would call, the same people that are running the music business. They're running Hollywood. They're running Contracts made in blood. Yeah, I mean, it really is true. People think that's just some bullshit rock and roll story. It's not. It's not. And there's I don't believe in coincidences. You know, is it Hutchins from In Excess? You have several examples of this. Podesta's son from Lincoln Park, which we think
Lowry,
is Podesta's son.
I'm loving everything you're saying right now, but for the noob, for someone who's watching and maybe is not familiar as we are on these things, you're running off a lot of stuff, but it, like, kind of go like where you're coming from a little bit more on it. That way they can kind of get what you're saying.
Okay,
like,
so
a lot of, like, for instance, the picture that we have up right now, as I was saying, it's an Illuminati symbol. It's a pyramid with the all-seeing eye. I could say that. A lot of people probably don't even know what that means. I'm not calling them ignorant. A lot of my viewers probably actually do, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And you know, but at the same time, go through a little bit of it, you know, and
well, we can start in a really the easiest way to talk about the eye is.
I don't mean necessarily this is what we have to talk about. You can keep going on with what you were saying. I was just saying, like, I want to like start from the beginning more with things myself. That
right,
way,
gotcha.
Because we're in a
this
great conversation here, but I want other people who are watching to know what we're going on about.
So the symbology is essentially it's sun worship, okay, and it's if you want
And
the
Saturn worship.
Saturn worship, and if you want the simplest way to look at it, just turn your dollar bill over and look at the top of the pyramid. Why is there an Egyptian pyramid on an American dollar bill? I mean, ask yourself the simple question: what is that doing there? That is the description of the beast system. It's right there under your nose, and it's in everyone's pocket if you're still using cash. It's been there since before I was born. It's right there for you. Just take your dollar bill out, put a microscope up to it. There is a little hidden owl on there. There is so much right there under your nose, and it's on purpose. It's meant for you to understand it. It's revelation of the method. It's this is who's in control. You know, and you think about it. We're supposed to be, you know, this country that was started by wagons, and we rolled across the United States, and we settled it, and we did all this. There's not that we're aware of anyway, that there probably is one. We don't have pyramids on our soil. At least we didn't knowingly. You know, so the pyramids were in Egypt, yeah. So
I mean, well, you could debate that, like, some of the, you know, the other structures are pyramidal, like, you know, the Aztec and Mayan and stuff like that, but
that's
not necessarily American. Yeah,
in Mexico, right?
Yeah,
but why is it on the back of the United States dollar bill? I mean, and you just ask yourself these questions over and over and over again until you realize, you know, you look at Washington D.C. from, you know, you look at Google Maps, looking straight down on there. That place is chocked full of symbology. The streets are organized in such a way to make certain symbols.
That's interesting to me, man. That stuff is crazy.
The obelisk in Washington D.C. There's an obelisk in London, and there's an obelisk at the Vatican. Those are the 3 points of the Jesuit power system, if you want to call it that. You want to call it the cabal, the mob, the Khazarian mob, whatever you want to call it. Those are the 3 power structures. Washington, D.C. is military. London is monetary. And the Vatican is, quote-unquote, spiritual, even though the Vatican has nothing to do with anything to do with what we would understand as Christianity. It has everything to do with Baal and Baphomet, and they're basically the opposite of what they say they are. And it doesn't take that much scraping to go in and figure out what that is. Now, what does that bring us back to the symbology? You've seen this in millions of celebrity pictures where they're doing this. They're doing this. Or they're doing this, or they're doing something like that. They do the hidden hand, where you'll see somebody takes a picture with their jacket on their hands hid. Mm-hmm. That is cabal. It's cabal behavior. It's occultist behavior. It's all
Freemasonry
underneath.
As well.
It's Freemasonry, and I should say 33rd degree Masonry. I think below 33rd degree Masonry, we're not talking about bad people. We're not talking about all of them. All the Masons are bad, but they just don't know what the ultimate degree of Masonry really is. And that's for everyone out there to do their own research. I'm not qualified enough to talk about that particular part of it because I don't even know what it is. I know what people have written about it. I know that it appears to be Satanistic in general. It appears to be Satanistic. But again, that's just what somebody wrote about it. There are some people out there that have what do I want to call the actual insider's manual, and I think it's out there, but again, you need to go look at this thing. And they described you when you read all the way to the end. They're they're not of the Christian ilk, so to speak. All right. It doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not. It doesn't matter none of this. Anyone listening to this, doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. They believe in what they believe, and they actually follow 100%. It to a T. Right?
100%. A lot of people don't get that. It doesn't matter if you believe in it. They do.
They do, and you have to understand that, and you have to know that then once you understand that they do believe in it, then you also understand that you'll understand who the enemy is. Here's another good one for you. MTV is Mason TV. The original headquarters were in the Masonic building. All right, so what they're talking about is they're trying to get hearts and minds. All right, so some of the greatest music videos you ever remember from the 80s. I grew up when MTV first came up, and I loved it. It was the first time I got to listen to music and watch a video to it, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. You trace it back, and of course,
video killed the radio star, man.
Yeah, right. And then also what you have out of that is you have their the most iconic image from MTV is of course an astronaut on the moon. So like they're just plowing the deception right in your face. But once you get this and you understand who's run that portion of at least big league music, like the people that get hundreds of thousands of fans, it's not because their music was that much better than somebody else's. It's that someone chose to put them on that stage, and then either MK Ultra'd them into that position, mind controlled them. Probably most of them mind controlled. I think some of the earlier bands were just sort of swerved into it, thinking, "Yeah, this is kind of bullshit," and they found out, "Oh, yeah, we kind of are stuck to this deal." I mean, Bob Dylan's an excellent example. He admitted it on national television. He says it in no uncertain terms. If you could actually pull up that, do you know the video I'm talking about? Hold on a second. This is such a good example. If you can
pull it up. Yeah. I wanted to, while you're doing that, I would like to mention Turbo Turds. He said, look at the firefighters raising the flag ground zero. I looked it up, man. He said, look it up for a second. I looked it up. All I saw was a cross. Am I missing something? Let me know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for here, unless you tell me. Then I can see it. It's just a gobbled mess if I'm looking at the background, to be honest with you.
Okay, this is let me get through this commercial here real fast. This is an iconic, at least in the truther world, an iconic interview with Bob Dylan, and he basically he tells the truth. I mean, he can't help but tell the truth. And this was on national television. I want to make sure I get this so I'm not showing like the whole. It's like a 10-minute one, but let me just see. Let's watch this. Hold on a second. Let me get this shared.
Sherman, I'll stop the screen.
Let's see, share. Okay. So it's going to be a tab. All right. This is worth watching the whole thing. We can pause it if we need to, but listen to him very carefully. He is telling the truth in plain sight, but he's doing it in his poetic sort of way, so that most people that are fans of Bob Dylan would think, well, that's just him being, poetic. Bob Dylan. No, he's not being poetic. This is. Bob Dylan on CBS, 60 Minutes.
In a world we can't see.
Let me make sure this is the right one. Right. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
People get born, to the wrong names, wrong parents. I mean, that happens. You call yourself what you want to call yourself. This is the land of the free. My parents never went anywhere. My father probably thought the capital of the world was wherever he was at the time.
Okay, now, this is the one. Hold on. This is the one right here. I just wanted to check and make sure. Okay, here we go. That's just him being poetic.
For as long as I've been here at 60 Minutes, I've wanted to interview Bob Dylan. Over his 43-year career, there is no musician alive who has been more influential. His distinctive twang and poetic lyrics have produced some of the most memorable songs ever written. In the 60s, his songs of protest and turmoil spoke to an entire generation. While his life has been the subject of endless interpretation, he's been largely silent. Now, at age 63, he's written a memoir called Chronicles, Volume 1. And I finally got to sit down with him in his first television interview in nearly 20 years. What you will see is pure Dylan. Mysterious, elusive, fascinating, just like his... You wrote Blowing in the Wind in 10 minutes, is that right?
So,
probably.
You have to ask yourself, how did he even get to be Bob Dylan to begin with? That's important.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
It just came... It came from... it was like... right out of that wellspring of creativity, I would think, you know.
That wellspring of creativity has sustained Bob Dylan for more than 4 decades.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man,
and produced 500 songs.
You got a lot of nerve.
And more than 40 albums.
40 albums.
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, whoa, that surprised me?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't know how I got to write those songs.
What do you mean you don't know how?
Well, those early songs were like almost magically written. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, a handmade blade, a child's balloon.
Magically written.
Eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand you knew too soon. There is no sense in trying.
This Dylan classic, It's All Right, Ma, was...
Now, let me just say something real quick about this. This is a Jewish kid from Minnesota who somehow is the star of the world overnight. All right, so just let's put that.
Written in 1964.
Mouthpiece, the hollow horn, plays wasted words, proves to warn that he not busy being
Bob Zimmerman.
born, is busy dying.
Well, try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic, you know. It's a different kind of a penetrating magic.
Bam!
Listen to that, right?
He means M-A-G-I.
He's saying it without saying it. Let's keep going.
And you know, I did it. I did it at one time.
You don't think you can do it today?
Mm-mm.
Does that disappoint you?
Well, you can't do something forever, and I did it once, and I can do other things now, but I can't do that.
Dylan has been writing music since he was a teenager in the remote town of Hibbing,
and this
Minnesota.
Shit gets better.
The eldest of 2 sons of Abraham and Beatty Zimmerman. Did you have a good life, a good, happy childhood growing up?
I really didn't consider myself happy or unhappy. I always knew that there was something out there that I needed to get to, and it wasn't where I was at that particular moment.
It wasn't in Minnesota?
No.
It was in New York City. As he writes in his book, he came alive when at age 19, he moved to Greenwich Village, which at the time was the frenetic center of the 60s counterculture.
Tavistock.
Within months, he had signed a recording contract with Columbia Records. You referred to New York as the capital of the world. But when you told your father that, he thought that it was a joke. Did your parents approve of you being a singer-songwriter, going to New York?
No, they wouldn't have wanted that for me, but my parents never went anywhere. My father probably thought the capital of the world was wherever he was at the time. It couldn't possibly be where any place else where he and his wife were in their own home. That to them was the capital of the world.
What made you different? What pushed you out of there?
Well, I listened to the radio a lot. I hung out in record stores, and I slam-banged around on the guitar and played the piano and learned songs from a world which didn't exist around me.
He says even then he knew he was destined to become a music legend. I was heading for the fantastic lights, he writes. Destiny was looking right at me and nobody else. Use the word destiny over and over throughout the book.
Here it is.
What does that mean to you?
It's a feeling you have that you know something about yourself nobody else does. The picture you have in your mind of what you're about will come true. That's kind of a thing you kind of have to keep to your own self because it's a fragile feeling and you put it out there, somebody will kill it. So it's best to keep that all inside.
When we asked him why he changed his name, he said that was destiny too.
Words are very true.
So you didn't see yourself as Robert Zimmerman?
And for some reason, I never did.
Even before you started performing?
No, even then. Some people get born, to the wrong names, wrong parents. I mean, that happens.
Tell me how you decided on Bob Dylan.
You call yourself what you want to call yourself. This is the land of the free.
Bob Dylan created a world inspired by old folk music, with piercing and poetic lyrics, as in songs like A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall.
So guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children.
Such good songs. Such good songs, too, and it's just like...
Also, you're going to get me a strike if you play that. Anyways.
Oh,
not
gotcha,
a strike,
okay.
but at least a claim. But anyways,
we'll get past the music.
What he just said about his name. In case anyone or yourself, maybe I brought this up last time, is watching, Travis Scott's not his real name. It's Jacques Webster II.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about that whole magic thing, and you know, songs just come to you, and just you want the different name. Where that name come from? I don't know, man. This stuff. I want to know that. That's
the best is yet to come. Wait, I'm gonna skip past the song here and see if I can get into that.
Skip past the song for me, bud.
And I'll remember that next time.
He was called the voice of his generation, and was actually referred to as a prophet, a messiah.
Go, driver, go.
Yet he saw himself simply as a musician.
You feel like an imposter when someone thinks you're something and you're not.
What was the image that people had of you, and what was the reality?
The image of me was certainly not a songwriter or a singer. It was more like some kind of a threat to society in some kind of way.
What was the toughest part for you personally?
It was like being in an Edgar Allan Poe story. You're just not that person everybody thinks you are, although they call you that all the time. You're the prophet, you're the savior. I never wanted to be a prophet or savior. Elvis, maybe. Well, I could easily see myself becoming him, but prophet, no.
I know that, and I accept, you don't see yourself as the voice of that generation, but some of your songs did stop people cold, and they saw them as anthems, and they saw them as protest songs. It was important in their lives. It sparked a movement.
If your time to you is worth saving.
Out of that song.
Were songs, you know, they weren't sermons. If you examine the songs, I don't believe you're going to find anything in there that says that I'm a spokesman for anybody or anything, really.
But they saw it.
Yeah, but no, but they must not have heard the songs.
It's ironic, you know, that the way that people viewed you was just the polar opposite of the way you viewed yourself.
Isn't that something?
Dylan did almost...
Let me just skip up to here.
And this helped a little. How did it help?
Look, if the common perception of me out there in the public was that I was either a drunk or I was a sicko or a Zionist or a Buddhist or a Catholic or a Mormon, all of this was better than Archbishop Anarchy.
The spokesman for the generation.
Yeah.
Opposed to everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was especially opposed to the media, which he says was always trying to pin him down.
We're getting to the juice of this.
I figured you lied to it. Why?
I realized at the time that the press, the media, that's not the judge. God's the judge. The only person you have to think about lying twice to is either yourself or to God.
Yeah.
The press isn't either of them, and I just figured it irrelevant.
Bob Dylan tried to
things with me, politics and philosophy and organic farming and things, you know.
What did you know about organic farming?
Nothing.
If they scrub this out of this interview, I'm going to
What did you mean when you wrote that the funny thing about fame is that nobody believes it's you?
People will, they'll say, are you, I think you are, and you'll say, I don't know, you know, and they'll say, you're him, and you say, okay, you know, that, yes. I said, and then the next thing I'll say, well, no, you know, like, are you really him? You're not him. You know, that can go on and on.
You go out to restaurants now?
I don't like to eat in restaurants.
Because people come up and say, are you him?
That's always going to happen, yeah.
Do you ever get used to this?
Yes, there's a piece that this is leading up to something. It's the most important part of it.
Fame was, I'm in the bottomless pit of cultural oblivion.
I just didn't want to hear him going to Denny's.
No.
Well, I'd seen all these titles written about me. you know.
And you started to believe it?
Well, I believed it anyway. You know, I wasn't getting any thrill out of performing. I thought it might be time to close it up, you know.
Some serious
You really
gravy.
thought about quitting, folding up to 10?
I had thought I just put it away for a while. But then I started thinking, that's enough, you know.
But within a few years, Dylan told us he recaptured his creative spark and he went back on the road.
He had an agreement. Let me get out of this.
As unique and powerful.
Get all these songs here.
500. That must be good to have as part of your legacy.
Oh, maybe this week, but you know, on the lists, they change names, and you know, quite frequently. Really, I don't really pay much attention to that.
But it's a pat on the back, huh?
This week it is. But you know, who's to say how long that's gonna last?
Well, it's lasted a long time for you. I mean, you're still out here doing these songs. You know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Here it is.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Here it is.
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know.
Bargain.
A long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
Here it is.
with you know, with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
Boom. Boom. You understand? He's saying it without saying it.
Yeah, you don't bargain with God.
Let's listen to this one more time. Let's listen to this one more time. This is the gravy of this whole interview.
You don't bargain with God.
You don't. There's no
You
bargaining
worship
there.
God.
Yeah, let's just listen to that one more time.
with you know, with the.
Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with you know, with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
Damn. I mean, you know, like there
It's
you go.
heavier the second time you hear it.
Yeah, dude, and it's just like I remember the first time I heard it, I just thought it was him being him, but you could tell he's being honest. You could just see in his eyes, he's like, yeah, I did something dumb when I was a kid, and now I have this agreement that I got to stick to.
That was a very long video, man. I think it was very relevant, and it really gets anyone who's listening to this thing and what we're talking about on the same, almost the same page, sort of.
Yeah. So what that does is it gives you a foundation to understand how the music business works and how fame works and how basically the powers that be use influencers to get the hearts and minds of people who just enjoy music. I mean, I enjoy music. I love listening to it. It makes me feel great. So if you have somebody that you can control that's playing songs, you can control the hearts and minds of people. Even if you're the most decrepit, you know, POS that lives, you hide out in the shadows. You use these influencers to get people to behave a certain way, you know.
Yeah, I recently watched a video about this where there were a bunch of different musicians talking about just how shady the industry was, man. Like, I mean, from Billy Corgan to Chester Bennington, you know.
It's truly awful. And like, have you heard about the 27 Club? You know, all those artists.
Oh,
that died at
Kurt
age of 27.
Cobain and Hendrix and.
You know who's doing real great work on all this too in the background is a guy named Mark Devlin in the UK. He's really like one of the top guys. And there's Mike Williams also, Sage Aquay. He does a lot of like musical background like research, and again, Mark Devlin, Sage Aquay. Check those guys out. They've got like volumes of information on what Tavistock did during the 60s. They were basically just using idols, using idolatry to get people to behave in a certain way.
And what do you think about MK Ultra? You think that's
okay? So I think MK Ultra is really relevant in the pop stars these days. I think there was probably a lot of that going on back in the 60s as well. Of course, Mitt says go down the crossroads. That's just the old. That's the old original
Robert
show.
Johnson.
Robert Johnson
Blues.
just met with the devil right away and learned how to play. Overnight, he knew how to play guitar in a completely different way that he didn't know before. So this
we also
is
got
like
Billy the Kid here. Hey, what's up, man? He says, yeah.
Yeah, and also Jim Morrison's father was he was a commander on a Navy destroyer. I mean, there's so many connections.
He was like a CIA member, right?
Yeah, and if you want to go even further, you can go down the Laurel Canyon story road, which like all of those LA people all lived in Laurel Canyon, and there was a CIA station right on top of the mountain above Laurel Canyon. And it just so happens that everybody that came out of that place got record deals, and they were influencing people. And whether or not they actually
like Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, not exactly the same, but sort of.
Think about it. Like if back then they didn't really see that they were going to actually. When I was 2021, I wasn't thinking about God and the devil and like these big spiritual ideas. I just wanted to play music and go out there and have fun. And they were easily swept up in that sort of psyop. And they knew that people love music. They saw what the Beatles did at Shea Stadium. I mean, girls were peeing themselves in the stands.
That's where it comes back to, is kind of like the sexuality of it and being like the girls like the bad boys. So
yeah,
if we can be bad boys, we can attract more girl customers to our music that's corporately owned.
And guess what?
Wrong?
And they weaponized it. And I say they, like the powers that be, these handlers, they weaponized that human emotion through music. And I was like, look, you can play whatever kind of music you want, man. Just eventually we're going to need you to, chill up. Just calling out Pearl Jam on this, like one of my favorite bands of all time, and I still love all their music. When they came out and started shilling for the V, it was it. I was like, I'm finished with
They
you guys.
were a band who actually stopped their concert once whenever the crowd got crazy.
Yeah, yes.
So
they also tried to fight Ticketmaster, and I think that they ended up having to, take a knee to their handler. And it doesn't change the fact their music's great. I mean, there's so much music out there that I love, and
Do you have a good Eddie Vedder impression?
Horror. You know what's funny? You know what the funny game is? Yeah. There's a funny game you play with lead singers, especially from the 90s. It's called Monkey or Chicken. So it just doesn't matter what band it is. You just name the band and you say it's Monkey or Chicken. So like Pearl Jam, Monkey or Chicken?
Monkey.
Definitely Monkey. David Bowie, Monkey or Chicken?
Chicken.
Yeah, kind of so, right? It's just such a fun game you can play. But either way, all these guys, all the music that we've known, maybe all of it, because you don't get big, you don't get to those stages without the cooperation of the powers that be, right? So, again, this going back to bringing this full circle back to the Astroworld thing, what you have is you have an influencer, this Travis Scott. You have
No, well, I can't say you can't play that game with him, bro.
What do you mean? Which game?
The one you just brought up.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure I was wrong on both.
Yeah,
accounts,
that would have the old
I'm pretty
racial.
Sure I was wrong on both accounts. Of that
the monkey or chicken thing is not a racial game. It's just in your mind.
I know.
You just automatically say monkey or chicken.
No offense to anyone. I'm not anything like that. I was. Just
that would probably yield a bad response from that. But anyway, I mean that's
I
my
welcome everyone here.
That was my thoughts on. I haven't even checked the chats, but the story about Astroworld, it's probably going to be unfinished because I bet it gets buried. I would suspect it gets buried in the news and goes down the memory hole probably in the next week or so, because that seems to be the speed of how everything's working right now. What I kind of wanted to do, where are we at? We're at 10. Now that we've covered Astroworld a little bit, I can take us back in time and try to put some pieces together on a lot of this stuff, and this is going to be some deeper stuff. So if you want to cover this, we can cover it. I'm kind of I'm like a lot of us. We're all pattern recognizers, so to speak.
This is I mean, if you got time tonight, I'm hoping this is a long, kind of a in-depth kind of a stream that we didn't get to do the other night. So we can just, if you got the time, we can go in depth with any of this stuff.
What is Turbo Turd talking about? Hoff, listen to me for a sec. Put the picture of the firefighters.
I know. I looked at it. I mean, I don't know, man. I tried to look at the firefighters.
Is this 9/11 stuff?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
but that's not really what we're talking about right now. If it comes up, You know.
We'll get to that. Here's the thing with like.
I appreciate you being here, Turbo Turd. It's just like not what we're looking at the moment right now. Unless
we're gonna go.
Just tell me if it does. Tell me.
We're gonna go back down the ladder. We're gonna go back down the ladder, which every truther knows there's a ladder. All right, so 9/11's about here. You know, the FE's right up here, and then what's up here is your journey. It's your journey. Some of us call it God. Some of us call it something else. Doesn't matter. It's none of our business, none of your business. It's your journey.
Consciousness.
But the ladder, whatever's up here, that is the spiritual journey that each person's going to take on their own. No one can be told how to do it. You have to do it on your own. Underneath that, we call it the ladder of truth in the community. So you have what most of us agree on is the cosmological disposition of where we live. We haven't been told the truth about. So we're not going to cover that. We're going to go down, 9/11 somewhere down in here. JFK is down here. You have these ladders of all of these events.
You can't start up there, man.
You can't start up here. You got to start down here. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go back to
let's go back in time.
This was when I was always a UFO guy. I was a space nerd. I was a NASA guy. Loved the idea of space. I love
Star Wars.
Oh, dude, Star Wars, Star Trek. Star Trek. You could argue is the journey inward. So I actually stomach watching that.
I was never a Trek guy. Never a Trek guy. Nothing against it, but
nothing against. But here's the thing.
Nerd. I like lightsabers and blasters.
Yeah, dude, the lightsaber was the most awesome thing ever. I'm like 7 years old. I'm like, I want one of those. Can I get a lightsaber for Christmas, please?
Yeah, every kid wanted a lightsaber, bro. Like that thing.
I'm gonna show something. Hey, I got to take a quick break. If you have anything to talk about, I've got this video ready to go. If you want to like chat them up for just a second, I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I will once again bring up the fact that it is Veterans Day, so we should be, honoring that, remembering that. Here's what I did for Veterans Day. I had no idea that I was doing it. But I felt great about myself, and I would have done it even if I had known it. Is that I was heading to work today. I was going to an exit ramp, and they kind of merged together. And normally I don't do this because I'm going fast, But I slowed down because this car, he wanted to merge out onto the highway, and I was trying to get on the exit. One of them Cloverfield things there, and I slowed down for him, real slow. And I let this car go. And sure enough, on the back of it, had sticker for a veteran. And the license plate tag there had the veteran logo. And I was like, man, I did the right thing, even though I didn't know I did the right thing. But I would have still done the right thing had I known I was going to do the right thing. So cheers to me, right? And cheers to all you watching tonight. Thank you for being here. Turbo Turd, stop being a baby, man. I don't know what you're making me guess. I'm not playing a guessing game on my own show. Tell me what I'm supposed to see. I looked at it for like 5 minutes while I was trying to listen to him. You're distracting me. Just tell me what I'm supposed to look at, and I'll bring it up. Just show me. I didn't see it. If you want to show it, come on the show. I'll send you an invite right now. I will if you want to come on and talk. I'll have you on right now and we'll bring it up. He's still on this thing.
So okay, so I sent you a link, and this is extremely important. If you're coming into this
thank you, Sarah.
If you're coming into this world, raw,
Thanks,
you don't have a lot of this. We need to go, and the first link I sent you was of Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper is one of the original Red Pillars. In other words, I want to say...
Before you get into Bill Cooper, it looks like you got a big fan, man. She loves you.
I
think she meant to put love, not love.
Lovely, spicy Sarah from out there in Colorado. Her and Griff, she's a good one. Bill Cooper is... this is one of the guys that was the original... you always heard about those stories, the radio shows... it was the one that was broadcast out of Las Vegas. They always talked about UFOs. They always talked about conspiracy. They always talked about like all of the creepy, spooky stories. What's that? Oh yeah. Oh dude, that's the one.
Man, I've read every word.
That is the ticket.
Actually, no, I haven't. I've just kind of skimmed through it. I'm not gonna
that
lie.
guy.
It's a big book.
This is one of the originals. Now, is he one of the
read.
originals? Maybe not, but this is one of the guys that really kick-started this, and he was killed. We think, unless he's still alive, but I don't think he's still alive. We think he was killed. But I want to play this clip. And this was recorded.
I think I already have it up. I can.
Let's see. Why don't you share your screen? Let's just watch this. And I want you to just listen. This is an old clip from like late 70s, early 80s. Listen to what he says.
Let me make sure it's the right one. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the other one that you sent me.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute.
I got the. They had the same sort of.
The very first one.
I got you right here, man.
All right, this is classic.
All right, this is some deep stuff, everyone. If you really want to know the truth about a lot of things, you listen to some Bill Cooper.
You would think that he recorded this
Their
today.
whole purpose throughout history has been to teach a small number of people how to become adept at controlling everyone else. Their goal is to destroy all existing religions save theirs, all existing governments save theirs, and shackle the mob in a system of eternal oppressive debt chained to a computer for the rest of their life, in a propagandized world to make them believe that they are happy in this system. Now, do you think they're succeeding? Haven't I described to you just now exactly what is going on in the world today? Yes, they're succeeding. They're succeeding because the American people don't understand their enemy. They don't even know what's happening. There's a method to their madness. There's really not much method to yours, because you're operating from a place of ignorance. And until you change that, you're going to be bumbling around, bumping into each other, saying and doing the wrong things, not understanding the nature of your enemy. And if you don't understand the nature of your enemy and the weapons they use, you cannot fight that enemy. You can't fight the battle. You shouldn't even be on the battlefield. That's why you're losing the war. And don't tell me you're not, because I'm in a place of great knowledge about who's winning and who's losing this war. And I can assure you, you're losing the war. This country was founded by dangerous men. Amen. And the moment the people in this country cease to be dangerous men, it's going to be the day we cease to have a country. And I'm going to tell you right now, unless we can be successful in creating a real free press where the American people get different viewpoints other than those expressed in the establishment-controlled media, there's going to be a civil war in this country, and it's going to come soon. The only thing that can stop it is by waking up vast amounts of sleeping people. Sheeple is what they are. They are following the Judas goat right into the shearing pins, and from there they will go to the slaughter, and they will not know that anything is wrong until they smell the blood of the sheeple in front of them.
Right?
Right? Recorded yesterday. No doubt.
That was from the late 70s, early 80s, maybe even sooner than that. So this isn't new. It's like the idea of sheeple isn't new. It's just been floating around in the background for. And it's like here's another thing. It gets a lot of people triggered because it makes people feel like they're stupid, and that's not what it is. People that are sheeple, they're not stupid. They haven't cracked the fourth wall of escaping the allegory of the cave, and they're angry about it and they're pissed off about it. And it's not that they're incapable of doing it; they just haven't tried. They've chosen not to look at it. So here's a guy that looked at it and saw it years, and it's sad that he doesn't get to see that there are people waking up to all this stuff now, and you have this notion that, this is going back to the whole Matrix thing, which is essentially, people are so inured with the system that they'll battle to stay as a slave. They'll battle to keep the system going, even though they're in slavery, because they don't actually know what real liberty is. They don't actually know what real freedom is. I don't even know. You don't even know. We have never experienced it in our life. I'm kind of keeping up the hope that maybe we will before, we go on to wherever we go, that we'll actually experience real liberty. That's
what
I
is
think.
your definition of that?
I don't know, because we don't even have we don't have any context to describe it, because we're basically of the
So you think everyone is just under the illusion of freedom?
The illusion of freedom, you know, but you know, we are in a debt slave system. It's the beast system. So like, no matter what, every decision we make has to do with money, which they print. All right, they just print it out of thin air. I mean, the Fed can print up as much money as they want. They can say whatever the inflation is they want,
because that just keeps happening.
Just keeps going, and they just make up numbers. You know, it just doesn't matter, because most people on the street
making up numbers, that just keeps coming up, man.
Most people on the street don't know what inflation is. All they know is that the brand of the dollar buys them something, and they like, oh, I've got more of it. That means I can buy more stuff. That in itself is the matrix. You're inside.
They don't know what it's backed by. And
they don't care, as long as someone else takes it from them so they can get the thing that they want. This is the consumerism aspect of it, right? So, again, Bill Cooper was
guilty.
Dude, we're all guilty. We're all guilty. Like, I still like to have, you know, I like to wear nice clothes, and I like, you know, it's really the extent of how you steward your life. Steward your life, pay your bills. We do need to have an exchange and buy stuff and get stuff back. We have to have that. That's part of the economy of the world. How much stuff do you need? That's the problem, and that's what causes the problem of power within, you know, human beings, is that there's just, once you get more stuff, then you want more stuff.
Do you think that it all comes down to that, or do you think that what we're going through right now, in my opinion, is more of a spiritual warfare, which goes back to the whole Satanism?
Oh, it's an old war. It's an old spiritual war.
I think a lot of it's spiritual, man.
If you want to wax biblical, it's, you know, it's classic Cain and Abel. You know, you've got one side that has empathy, and you've got another side that doesn't, because, you know, again, waxing biblical, if you want to go that way, Eve was beguiled by the serpent, Yule serpent, the green man, the what do they call him? Some people, I mean, there's a lot of names, but the gene line was
Voldemort.
Mixed. Yeah, she carried both the son of Adam and the son of the old serpent. And that's where you get all the talk of the reptiles, which leads me to the next guy, which is like, okay, so this is a really important thing to say before we get to this clip. All right, so there's a lot of things in this that ring extremely true. I think what Phil Schneider, and this is one of the oldest ones. This video came out around the same time as Bill Cooper was talking about it. He worked in the underground base. In New Mexico, or he actually worked with a government outfit, so he says, and he said there were aliens down there. All right, so from Phil Schneider's perspective and everything that he knew,
so the people from Mexico or extraterrestrials?
We'll get. I don't want to give up too much of the video while we get into it, but essentially, I'm trying to explain what his mindset was. He's not as we're now being 30 years later. We're more up to speed with the possibilities of what that could be. He, at that point in time, they were still right in the middle of the NASA psyop, and that there is space and that there's aliens from other planets. All right, he's still in that. So that's how he's interpreting what he saw underneath the ground down there. Now, the thing that you have to put together on this piece is that when you walk through it, there's a couple of possibilities here. They called, if you notice, Spielberg used the extraterrestrial, right? So that actually means extra land. So could it be people from
extra testicle,
extra land outside of the 60th parallel, which we're not allowed to travel other than McMurdo, where you can go down there and take pictures with penguins? Okay, so and it emits interdimensional beings. I don't know that much about that shit, so I'm not going to explore that. But I like extraterrestrial and the fact that it could be from another place that's further out here. You know, I don't believe in space.
So you're talking more Antarctica, I believe, from where you come from, right?
outside of the border.
Past Antarctica.
Past Antarctica in all directions. So we go with this. Go with him and thinking every time he says aliens, just think people that we're not familiar with.
You have to admit that I know that. You have to give me credit for that.
Yeah, dude, that was great.
You have to give me credit for that.
Yeah, sorry. I thought. Well, I'm just thinking. I'm talking to like somebody that's on my level, and I was like, yeah. That's, outside of the Antarctica.
That's like a lot of people don't get what we're saying. We won't go too far into that, but if you believe in a certain way the world works,
right?
Antarctica is the outer crust of the pizza, and who knows what else is out there on that table that
and we can't confirm it because we're not allowed to travel outside.
I can't believe I came up with that analogy. That was I just came.
That was great. That was great. That's great. That's great entertainment. Okay, so anyway, so as we watched a little bit of this video, so understand that when he's saying aliens, he's just trying to describe something that he doesn't understand. And the reason that this is a really important video, and it still stands to this day, because he says a couple of things. And I'm just going to do a small part of this because I think we could dedicate an entire episode just to this video. And I think we should do that next week. So I'm going to skip.
Cool with me, man.
I'm going to skip up to
a little preview right here.
The little preview in the middle of his interview, which kind of tells you once you start to see the strings together and what we understand now about the human trafficking and the organ harvesting and the use of adrenochrome, this will come full circle for you. So let's go to here. Let's see.
I don't know if adrenochrome's a bad word to say on here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can call it something else.
I said it too, so we're both guilty. But
yeah, I'm trying to self-edit as best as I can on this, and I'll do my best. And if I give you we'll just start a new channel if we can't do this one.
That'd be cool, man.
All right, so this is Phil Schneider. This is one of the oldest ones. He's out of the same ilk as Bill Cooper, some of the original truth tellers. So, okay, this is Philip Schneider. Let's see if I got it started here.
Oh, yeah, I know this guy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start at 30.
I know this guy.
I'm gonna let it run for like
I don't remember his name.
4 or 5 minutes, and then trust me, there's hour 12 of this. I think we should do the whole video next week. Okay, but let's just do 5 minutes right now. Fair?
5 minutes. Hey, at least take maybe about every minute, pause and talk about something. That would be cool.
Okay,
instead of just doing the straight 5 minutes, you know.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
so
once he says something that you react to, tell us how you feel about that. That would be fucking awesome.
Gotcha. All right.
Grades. Someone broke.
Let me back this up. He's talking about crystals.
Million degrees Fahrenheit is grown by aliens who have given a good. The other side of the alien question is, some of these aliens have broken off from their mainstream and said, we're not getting a fair shake, and so this is what happens. And I'm talking about the alien grays.
Okay, just so you know, just a reminder, alien grays, just think of people that can't come above ground or are from somewhere else, but they're not from space.
Broken away. They're talking about not being popular.
Yeah.
I thought the Greys came from space. What you just told me completely contradicted what I was told my whole life.
There's no space. And so we have to understand this, and this is the whole thing. I don't want to get into FE because that's probably a big jump for a lot of people that are listening to this the first time.
Okay, but a lot of people think the Greys do come from space. That's why I had to bring it up, and what you said was like just bam. It was like I knew you were trying to slip it in there, but I noticed that.
Yeah. See, okay, so my particular, I would posit that the Greys are gray because they haven't been able to come above ground. And
it's not because they've been in space in the dark.
No, there's no space. And this is false. But I think what he saw and what he thought he saw was what he would familiarize in his own brain as an alien.
Okay.
What happens when you don't get light on your skin? You're not allowed to come to the surface. You don't have sunlight.
You look like
on
me
you.
Right now on camera.
In Ohio in winter.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So anyway, here we go.
This particular piece of metal is an amazing piece of technology. It's capable of being grown in 15 different crystal systems. Now, I'm a geologist, and I, prior to 15 or 20 years ago, knew of only 6 crystal systems.
Hold on a second. I'm going to scoot it up because I think this video is a little bit different than the other one. He's still talking about future technology. I want to get to the part where he talks about the U.S. president at the time.
Back in 1954, I'll give you a quick overview. There was the created 1954 treaty where Eisenhower signed a pact
We're on so many lists right now.
Known alien species of the time. There were 3 at the time. And said that we're going to deal in high technology, but you can take a few head of cattle and a few human beings and you can experiment on them. It's unthinkable. It's stuff straight out of the Nazi death camps, and I'm kidding you not, it's plain BS, and it's got to stop. Now, the created 1954 treaty would have been violated. After the great firefight, the alien-human war, I am the only living survivor talking about it worldwide at all. Only one.
The other two are in nursing homes in Canada, and the Canadian government refuses to allow any U.S. people, including myself, to talk to them.
Okay, now, just so far, I just want to tell you, we'll get into this next week. We're going to do this whole video next week. In the meantime, he will show later in this video that his left hand has been blown apart by whatever weapon they used underneath the ground at that dumb base in New Mexico. Here we go.
Because they are afraid of kidnap. Probably the reason I got shot to pieces and 11 attempts on my life is I am a direct threat to the entire system. The New World Order, the alien agenda is one and the same. It's world takeover and the decimation of the population of this planet. Now, I'm going to tell you something a little bit different about the alien species. The bad news ones, there are 9
pause it right
races.
there, man. Pause it right there.
Yeah.
Before you get into that, dude, that was a big matzo ball to lay down. Go back to what he just said. You can't go into the next thing.
There's some gravy that's coming up that salutes that first thing that he said. First of all, talking about the New World Order and the alien agenda all being one, and also reducing the population, right?
Yeah,
is that the part you're talking about?
That part. Yeah, that part.
Okay, wait till you hear what he says after that.
Before a treaty would have been violated. After the great firefight, the alien-human war, I am the only living survivor talking about it worldwide at all.
What a badass.
The other two are in nursing homes in Canada, and the Canadian government refuses to allow any U.S. people, including myself, to talk to them because they are afraid of kidnap. Probably the reason I got shot to pieces and 11 attempts on my life is I am a direct threat.
Sorry.
He's missing 2 fingers on his left
system.
hand.
I know,
The New World Order, the alien agenda is one and the same. It's world takeover and the decimation of the population of this planet. Now, I'm going to tell you something a little bit different about the alien species. The bad news ones, there are 9 races of alien populations. To look at a human being as a bag of food. They're not cannibals. They don't eat the flesh and the bones and all that kind of stuff. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenal chrome.
Let me play that again one more time. This is from the late 70s. Late 70s. Let's try that again. I just want you to hear this. Remember, aliens not just take aliens out of it and just think people underground that are bad people or whatever, bad things. Here we go.
And the bones and all that kind of stuff. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenal chrome.
What's that?
So the aliens taught humans how to do this.
I don't think it's that way at all. I think it's just it's Canaanites of old and or people from different places.
Or do you think the humans that are doing this are actually
we already know that they're harvesting kids for adrenal chrome. That's just public record at this point. But back then,
that's my second strike again.
Oh, what did I say? Did I say the wrong word? I don't know. We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Well, you said something as a fact that is debatable, but
okay. So look,
keep going.
Here's the importance of this video is that there's lines that are consistent with now that he's saying, but his view of what he thought he was seeing underground met with his outer space indoctrination. In other words, these people look like the aliens that they've shown us in magazines, TV shows, and everything else. In reality, I would posit that whatever they're trying to negotiate with underground down there, they're not allowed to come up here, and they are.
Do you believe there's something under the seas?
I think there's stuff under everything.
What was they call them? Unidentified submerged objects.
But they're not from space. These are populations that have already been here. But the reason I'm showing this is
maybe they figured out how to get out of this area into a different one. They visit every now and then.
Well, according to him, and we'll get in the video next week in depth, but that Eisenhower had to make an agreement with them. So if he's telling the truth. But the one thing that was striking to me about this video, and it was just the parallels of he calls it adrenochrome, but it's actually adrenochrome is what we know it as now. The parallels of that, the parallels of the DUMBs, and the parallels of, wait till he's going to talk about here in a minute, is the plan to depopulate by 2029. He was off by 1 year of the 2030 agenda. Off by 1 year. And this is from the 70s. This is from the 70s. Now, you've seen the Georgia Guidestones. Hey,
before you go any further, I just wanted to say, anyone who's watching or will watch, please drop a like for this guy dropping knowledge. The least you could do is drop a like for him dropping knowledge on you right now. And risking all of this. And we're living dangerously. And I don't want you to censor yourself. Keep going. But
yeah. So anyway,
continue.
We're still back on this video. All right. So anyway, again, forget when he says aliens. Just think about it in a position of what he thinks in his mind and how he thinks of what he's seeing. And it makes a lot more sense once you get to it. Am I still sharing the screen? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on and see what else he comes up with here.
It's something like cocaine to them. Now, what can we do about it? Right now, if we do nothing, we can do nothing about it, and it'll continue to go on. Basically, we'll be led in the dark, and you'll keep seeing more and more people disappear. Right now, there's 100,000 children totally unaccountable through FBI archives, cannot be traced anywhere.
That was in 77. 100,000 that were archived. That's not even reported.
They haven't been murdered. Nobody's ever seen them. I think they're hauled underneath in some of these bases, and they are summarily done away with, and they are literally eaten. Now, that is a scary thing indeed. And I'm not asking you to believe me in toto. I am asking you to seriously do enough homework that you can go out through the public record, through the congressional records, find out who's voting for what, and go.
By the way, look at his left hand when he raises it here. You'll see where it got shot off
in the dark, and you'll keep seeing more and more people disappear. Right now, there's 100,000 children totally unaccountable through FBI archives, cannot be traced anywhere. They haven't been murdered. Nobody's ever seen them. I think they're hauled underneath in some of these bases, and they are summarily done away with, and they are literally eaten. Now, that is a scary thing indeed. And I'm not
there it is right there. Look at that. See that? Shot off, just so you know.
Asking you to believe me in toto. I am asking you to seriously do enough homework that you can go out through the public record, through the congressional records, find out who's voting for what, and go from there. Do your own program, do your own agenda, and do your own speaking out. And if enough of us do this, there is some saving grace. However, we don't have a whole heap of time left. Technological governments on this planet are raping the planet. We're going to run out of everything that we need. We're going to pollute everything in sight.
Pause it right there. Yeah, pause it right there. Pause it right there. That's what's going on right now. They're trying to deplete us of everything, as well as just putting all these lockdowns, restrictions, hands around our throats. And now you have people like Bill Gates who own more farmland in America, and they're paying farmers more money to burn their crops than to grow them right now. This is all intentional. This is all on purpose.
And I'll tell you, I need to stop sharing, don't I? Hold on, stop sharing. Okay, so here's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. The way here's what I would posit. Are you familiar with the term of rule by perceived scarcity?
Is that like supply and demand?
Rule by perceived. It's the same way with the climate sham. All right, so they talk about overpopulation, right? You can literally fit the entire population of the realm within which we live. If it's 8 billion, if we're to believe that number, you can fit front to front, shoulder to shoulder, back to back within the Los Angeles city limits. We're not overpopulated. It's a sham.
You drive through the country, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So what you're looking at here is
except
that,
well, how do you... we want to grow and live on.
Well, how do you put a mental prison on people's heads? You're like, the world's coming to an end. The sea levels are rising.
You force them into cities, too.
Even though they haven't...
force them into cities.
Yeah, the squashing. But here's the thing: you get you get these things inside people's heads where like, shit, the world's getting fucked up. Well, you look at old black and white pictures of like the water level in 1901 and it hasn't raised, you know, and then you get all these pictures like, well, the temperature really hasn't raised.
And you got Obama buying a home right on the riverside, and he's out there speaking at climate change convention saying, hey, I'm not required to be here, but old habits die hard.
Yeah.
And if you don't vote, your life is literally on the line.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a sham. It's perceived scarcity. They scare people into thinking there's not.
But
enough.
what I'm saying is, he bought that thing right on the fucking ocean front. If sea levels are rising, like they say, why did he do it?
Oh yeah. Well, you can go one further. It's like these guys who do prospectuses, I think they are, or you're building like a resort on a seaside. They want to know what their profits are 100 years from then. I mean, it's all built into the way that they decide to invest in something like that. If the sea level is rising, the bankers would know it first, but they're still building beachfront property. So you just have to walk yourself out of that stupidity and the perceived scarcity and understand there's plenty for everybody. There's plenty for everybody. The people at the top have squashed the ability for anyone to even understand that there's enough for everybody. I mean, you can grow a garden and feed yourself for the rest of your life on an acre of land. Less. I was
talking about that.
I could do it on the roof,
when you
of my
left
apartment
last
in
stream.
Brooklyn.
I was talking about that, dude. I was talking about how I was wanting to buy seeds and grow my own shit.
It's asinine. It's asinine. You can live with a very small garden. You know, obviously keeping livestock is a little tougher, but you know, you need to get some protein.
Well,
you know, but
let me say this. I told you I was from the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might move back there one day because I kind of have something waiting for me, maybe, if things go bad. So there's a lot of land out there I would have, and it would be very easy. And that's actually like kind of where I'm actually heading eventually. That's actually where I'm heading. It's not right now, but in a few years from now, maybe a decade.
I mean, a good garden cannot hurt you, man.
So
good garden can't hurt you. Seriously can't. I was trying to think.
Billy Kid says, is World War III on the horizon? China.
I don't.
Good,
I mean,
good way to
I think we've already been in World War III for 16 years, and it's an information war, and I'm hoping that it's wrapping up soon. Who knows, man? It's like there's so much bullshit going on out there now.
But I mean, the information war has never been more intense, though, on either side. Indeed. You know, there's lies going everywhere. There's also truth that is completely obfuscated from everyone, buried, grabbed.
Lies by omission. Yeah. Yeah, I think what we should do next week is I want to tear apart this whole video. Not tear apart in a bad way, but like there is so much gravy in that Phil Schneider video alone that we could spend 2 hours just going through it, and like because there's so many parallels to now. And not just that, Bill Cooper said the same thing. And people are like, well, it's not like it's written in stone. Actually, it is written in stone in the Georgia Guidestones, and we've been there. It's written in stone. So, like, that argument doesn't go anywhere. So this has been being said for years and years. It was never about they're depleting the place where we live of all its stuff. It was convincing everybody that there wasn't enough and still killing off a lot of people because they don't like us. And when I say they, the only way I can describe what that particular they is they're psychopaths. They don't have empathy. If you want to
watch this,
yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you got to keep me from ranting. Is there sound?
Is there no sound?
There's no sound. Yeah, you need to.
Oh man, I did the wrong one. Let me try again, man. I didn't mean to stop you from ranting, man. Also,
no, it's good. It's good to keep me in check from time to time. I would have probably kept on going, but I want to save some. I want to save some for next week too. So
I think I just actually exited out of that, which is not what I wanted to do. But there's a lot of good stuff on that, man. Let's look at
what were some of the other videos I sent you? There was a couple others. There was one I wanted you to see. It has a girl. She does a really good. She's a poet. So you know when you pull up the movie that I sent you, she's a poet, and she goes through what's happening now. It's a really good one to show if you can get that one. I can't remember which one.
I'm trying to find it on the. Here we go. Okay, so let me go to the third one here. I think I can bring it up. Is it the third one?
I'm pretty sure. I'll know it when I see it.
Is there stars involved?
It's really good. I mean, everything I sent's worth talking about, so like just click it on and see what happens.
All right, got you, man. This one right here.
Oh, this is the new Let's Go Brandon.
Shots. Wait, is this what we should watch?
This is a full video. I mean, we could watch that if you want to. I don't think it's that one though. Hold on, let me. I think everyone should watch that because it's funny. Because every Let's Go Branding that comes out is even better than the last one.
There's one more link that you sent me. I think.
Let's see. This would be of a girl.
Not it. No, I didn't. I opened every one of them. I don't think it's on there.
I know I sent this to you. Hold on. Let's go to sent. No, it's got to be on that same thread. So it's
This is the first one, maybe. No, maybe.
Where are we at?
Well, we'll play this until we get there.
Yeah.
That's the people are getting now. Cover that. You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Somebody got to do it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey. Biden said the jab stopped the spread, it was lies. I remember how you wrote, but you haven't opened your eyes. These politicians.
Am I gonna get a strike on this one?
I don't think so, but
Nicki Minaj. Look at
it's not in my
that's what's coming next if we don't stand up. Stop complying with them, taking our rights, it's time to man up. Republicans voting for red back laws, that's just what I can't trust.
Basically, yeah, Billy, unless you grow
then
your
they
own
gonna
food.
ban us. Hey, this is about control, everybody knows, everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros, I don't need a plane, I just hit the road, I do what I want. I can't sell my soul, market about to crash, this is what you chose. Ruining the country, I think that's the goal. You gon' take the mark, I take narrow roads, I'm a man of God, I can never fold. Brandon, I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning.
Let's play the other one.
Yeah, I just have it. Okay, I've got it on my screen, so let's share mine. Hold on here a sec. All right.
How much time do you have tonight, man?
I got another till 11, so I'm good. But we need to save some for next week and the night. I've got like I'm telling you, I've got so much material. We're not gonna run out of it.
Before you, I'm going to put a invite in the description for people like Billy or anyone else who wants to come on.
Oh, you want to take some calls?
I mean, if you only have this much time, I was going to have some people on with us, but if not, I'll do it after the show. That's what I was asking.
I'm probably going to cut out at 11, but if next week, like, I love to get into this stuff, so I think next week I would join in on that, but this week I got to peel out at 11.
I'll put the after party in here, and then
and maybe I'll come back and join you in the after party if like I've got a couple things I got to do, and if I'm feeling frisky, I'll just pop back on. I can use the same link, right, to get back on?
Should be able to. Yeah, I'm using the one that's in the chat right now.
Okay.
Well,
the one that you sent me. All right, here we go. This is a really good one to watch. This is a good. Here comes my share. Let's see. This was really great. I mean, this just came out of nowhere. Caught this the other day.
She looks like a nice young lady.
Have you seen this?
No. It sounds low. Can you turn it up?
Yeah, hold on. That's all I got.
She's got a weak voice. Well, okay, refresh it. I'll read the
Are you not hearing that?
No, it's very. I can hear it, but it's very, very soft. I can hear you fine,
That's
but
weird.
the sharing of it is on my end pretty. Yeah, Billy says he can't hear it either, but I'll read it.
It's on full blast on the link that I have.
I'll read it like a young lady.
Okay, here we go.
Someone had to say something. Freedom's hanging by a thread. Netflix and TikTok. Now I'm not here to judge you, and I know we're all scared and tired. And we've been so hardwired. Media feel the wrong fires. We're depressed. Dude, I can't rap. Never mind. The fall balls has fallen. Und, don't.
I mean, if you can't hear it, it's probably not going to be doing any good. I don't know. If it's
not on
coming...
the audio. No, it's very very faint. Like I hear it like it's like it's there. I hear it, but it's
that's weird. I hear it really well on my end. Okay, well forget that one then. We'll get back to that at another time.
Well, let's do a wrap up of Astroworld since this is what the episode was about. Let's look at maybe just a couple more videos, maybe.
Yeah, you got some more stuff.
Yeah, let's watch this one called "The Scary Truth About Astroworld."
Okay, let me stop sharing here. Let's see over here.
Which I actually haven't seen this, but it sounds interesting. All right, let's do this one.
Artist, you expect to go have an amazing time with your friends and come home with tons of memories. That's what 50,000 people expected to happen this past Friday during the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival. Unfortunately, what actually happened was declared as cowardly.
Globe reinforcement.
Prayers to the ones that was lost last night.
Back in April, Travis Scott announced his third annual 2-day festival in Houston, Texas. An older Reddit thread shows how excited his fans were, and it also shows that people were planning on flying in from all around the world.
What do you think
Fans
about
were
all
just
around
so
the
excited
world?
to get back out there and see
All
Travis
across the
perform in
plane.
person.
There
Last
you
year, Astroworld was canceled because of COVID, so the anticipation for this year was huge. Little did people know, 8 fans would end up dead. Hundreds would be injured, with many hospitalized for days.
This video sucks. Let's do a better one, man.
Let's see. The ones that I've looked at are just TikTok-y kind of like kids, just like, yeah, shit got fucked up, and there wasn't like the early stuff that was coming out.
Let's look at this one here. Let's look at this. This one's okay. Here we go. I got some real fire right here, bro. Real fire. All right. We got a good one. Stop screen on that one, dude. I got a good one for you. I promise. Let's watch this one right here. Everything about this is wrong. 8 people died in this demonic concert. Souls were walking on top of the stage. Y'all need to wake up!
Whoa. So they had some actors up on top of the stage?
I thought I saw the stage was in the shape of an inverted cross that led into the back of the portal. The portal, which is the, that's the, you know, the
Stargate
thing.
It's a Stargate.
Yeah. That's the Stargate. Too many coincidences here, right?
Yeah, dude.
This is a compilation of TikTok videos. I'm gonna mute it. That way we can just talk about RIP.
So what's happening here? This person just dropped. Are they part of the smash? Are they part of the compression of the crowd? Now, this is a genuine stampede here. I can get this. I'm totally. I can see how people got hurt here. I can see how people got hurt in the compression in the crowd. What I'm looking for is, I'm looking for people who weren't part of the compression or the stampede that just dropped. And
yeah,
that's
man,
what
just switching out like that last one.
Now that could have been from being smashed and suffocating or doing that, but I mean,
I'm not a doctor. Could have been.
Could have been. And for me, you know, this just looks like the whole venue was set up for people to die. If they knew 50,000 people were coming and they have, you know, an entrance that's...
It's 2021. We've done this before many times.
Yeah, these people are pros. They're supposed to be pros of
throughout
concert.
the years. I kind of like the creepy music. I miss it. Guy getting yelled at by Travis. Yeah, let's see if this is audio. I think that was audio. Actually, yeah. We're back to the actual audio.
Yeah. So, what are they talking about? This guy that's on the... This guy? Oh, shit, he punched somebody. Wait, is that Travis Scott? On top of somebody?
Was that there? Was that even at this? I thought it was nighttime when he performed. Yeah. This... I don't know how
Oh, did you hear that screaming?
Everybody.
Did you hear that screaming on that one?
Yeah.
Exactly right. Someone in there. People are fucking dying. I want to save somebody's life. That's somebody's kid.
Two hands to the sky.
I want to save them.
Two hands to the sky. Two hands up, y'all. Two hands up. Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go. You gotta hold people in the pit. We'll take care of them. I want to make this motherfucking break.
Look at that. Look at that.
Holy hell.
Like, what would make people run?
Wow.
To run
like that? What the hell, man? No, if you got out of there, you think you'd be on your knees, like gasping.
So, but who was there ready to film that?
That's insane, man. If that's from that, which I don't know what else it would.
No, pause it for a second. Pause it.
That is.
Who was there ready to film that? Like, who was like, okay, we know that a bunch of people are going to be running.
Good point.
Up here.
You always have to ask that question.
Who was
there?
You
always have to ask that question.
So they're running from some over here. So like, there's okay. So they're like, we've got a bunch of people. So somebody knew that they were coming, or somebody just happened to be standing on top of the hill, turned around, like, hey, there's a big group of people running this way. I'm going to film it. So, this feels very sketchy to me. This feels, every single red flag.
I have a new viewer. The Enlightened, thank you for joining me. He says demonic soul-sucking event portal symbology. He's right.
It just feels not right. And this also goes to the same stories that I heard. But a lot of those kids were talking earlier on. I was like, I don't feel like I should be here. A lot of people had the same story, right?
It's the moon
the moon landing cameraman. Yeah, the one, the guy that we left behind. It was just like
that is Paul.
I know it's
comment
just,
of the night right there.
You got to remember, somebody had to film all this shit, right? I mean, somebody
absolutely.
Had to do it.
You like have you ever seen that video? I'm an island boy. I'm an island boy. I was like, who's filming that? And actually, like, yeah, we're gonna upload this, and this is awesome, and there's nothing wrong with you kids. But
all right, let's see where this goes.
Paid to play, says Billy.
Dude, this is crazy. And look at that. That's like a mob heading.
Billy also said, I've been compressed within a crowded concert. It's scary. I have too, but I've never feared for my life. I've never feared for my life like this. I've never ran out at full force at a gate.
Again, and the discernment of this whole thing, if it stays in the news long enough for us to get anything out of it, is to watch for the stories about people who died not being part of that thing. Okay, so you have two stories going on here. They're going to blame the deaths on crowds rushing the stage, right? So they have their cover story. The outside story are the ones that I heard early on, where people were just like leaving because they didn't feel well. Those were the stories I was hearing. So every story needs a good cover story. The cover story is the Stampedes. I'm just going to keep an eye. Keep going. Let's see what happens.
All right, man. It looks actually kind of fun, unless you were dying.
And there's big money in this thing, too. Wow.
If you weren't dying, that would be fun.
Man. What's that?
The security guards were ignoring, is what that says. Am I the only one who sees the dark demonic energies casting?
No, everyone saw it. It's very clear.
Look at
They're
that,
not trying to hide it.
The dove with the flames. The dove represents God burning through Satan.
Do you know how much money was spent just on that stage? I mean, I can just tell by that's...
Dude, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. One artist did all this. He's owned by Illuminate.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not gonna lie, I'd have a good time there if I weren't dying.
I mean, dude, seriously. I love music.
I seriously would have a good time there if I weren't dying.
Yeah, dude,
I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm not gonna knock concerts, man. I love music. I always have. I'm a musician, and it especially for you. Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
Especially people, young people, when I was young, man, concerts were the only thing. There was nothing else but concerts. And I still thoroughly enjoy playing music for people, and I love the energy that it creates. I know what that is. I've been to concerts like that where everyone's feeling the same vibe, and it's like euphoria. You can see how that euphoria is being weaponized, and not weaponized is not the right word, but it's being manipulated. Those people are being manipulated by the euphoria that they're going through. And okay, continue.
I think this part's really good. It says crowd chanting, "Stop the show." He clearly knew there was something going on. You
300 plus people getting trampled.
Almost sounded like he said an auto-tune. Stop the show!
Yeah, stop the show! Oh,
let's hear it again. It sounded like he said,
God.
"Stop the show!" I'm not trying to make jokes, but
no,
damn,
but it's
like that.
It sounds like what he said, right? Oh my God! Wow. Okay.
Well, do you need to head out, or can you stick around, man?
I can stick. Is there more to this?
Yeah, there's like another 6 more minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's see what else.
It's gonna hit an ad soon. I'll mute
I haven't
that.
seen. Yeah, we got the ad for Citibank.
And once again, I'm gonna put in the chat. If you want to come backstage, I'll have you in maybe on the show or either after the after party.
Yeah, and I gotta run and do a thing. And if I'm feeling frisky, I'll come back on and pop back into the call-in stuff. Yeah,
it's right there. So Billy the Kid or Enlightened or anyone here, if you want to pop in afterwards, I'll be here. All right, so.
Oh wow! A bunch of people got stuck in an elevator.
Dude, it was like a locker room in there. It was. So who was jumping?
Oh yeah, when you jump in an elevator, I know this in New York City Posit. When you jump in an elevator.
Dude, no way! That's what that was.
Yeah,
Let's go back. That's an elevator that.
Yeah, when you jump in an elevator, it will just stop. I've had this happen to me in New York City, and the fire department has to come and literally get you out.
I'll do steps. I'm steps all day, bro.
Don't jump in an elevator. Whatever you do, you ruin everybody's day.
I'm steps all day, man. I'll take them. I don't care to walk.
Is this at the concert?
It's coming out of it. Maybe.
Okay. Look how many people are in there. That's insane. Wow.
Is this like an underground tunnel that they used to get out of the Astro Stadium in Houston?
There is not a shadow of doubt in my mind that the Travis Scott concert was a ritual.
A ritual.
For those that have studied the roots and the foundation of the Hollywood culture, this is easy to see. But for those that haven't, you might not know that this was actually a ritual. I mean, I'm not here to prove it, I'm just here to show you some pictures and some eerie videos, and you can decide for yourself. Firstly, for those that were at the event, reported seeing this picture, "See Ya on the Other Side," all over the event. And the stage is literally designed to put you in a
Plus he was wearing that shirt that had the blue guys going to red guys through a door that said, "See you on the other side."
Than mainstream media news backgrounds.
Yeah, he's talking about sigil magic.
In a trance.
Travis
Scott released 2 songs with this cover on the same day 8 people died at his concert. And the definition of dystopia is an imagined state or society in which there is a great suffering or injustice, typically one that is totalitarian.
I don't know how imagined it is right now.
I mean, do I really need to say much more than that? Gematria is the association between the alphabet, letters, and numbers. It is ultimately the language of the Cabal. It's where we associate numbers with words. And so when you put in the gematria calculator the word sacrifice, Astroworld, which was the name of his concert, Houston, Texas, which was the location, you get exactly the same reductions. This is not a coincidence. This is how the Cabal and the hidden hand in Hollywood actually work and operate. Now I'm going to show a clip
on track.
Drake and Travis Scott singing. Pay attention
Travis
to the words
Scott, Tavistock.
I want to hear you talk to me.
Body catcher. Wow. Just right on the nose.
Wow.
Right on the nose.
Soul Snatcher.
Travis Scott's Astroworld.
Wow.
Everyone seemingly entering his mouth. And below is a picture of Hieronymus's painting of Christ
He's done this
in
for
limbo,
years.
which is a depiction of purgatory, aka Christian hell. I mean, do you notice anything similar? I I mean, if that's all not trippy and weird enough for you, check out Travis Scott continuing to sing as almost
pause
as
it for a second.
Possessed,
hey, the Enlightened
Mac.
I would add to what you said. I would add what you said. Spells, casting spells, spelling.
Yeah. Also, when I said, I think he's referencing the burning dove. Even if it's not the phoenix. It was flying in the air already and was burning. The phoenix rises. Regardless, it's still satanic. The phoenix is still satanic, even if it was a phoenix.
This thing is rich with all sorts of spooky shit.
It's a great red velvet cake, man. It's nice and moist.
It's going on whilst people are literally falling and being taken.
Classic idolatry.
We are all entitled to our own opinions. I just want to say, as this final message, be cautious and be careful what you're listening to and what you're giving your attention to. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Do not feed into the satanic Luciferian system. There is some beautiful music and beautiful experiences to have in this world. Let's focus on that. That way, these systems with
smart
evil
guy.
Roots
that was a nice statement. I like that. Music is good. Music is not all bad. It's just there's certain ways.
There's corporate Rothschild music.
Yeah, it's just been
Rockefeller music.
It's been grabbled. It's just like they took a good thing, a good medium, and they put their little, they spurted on it. They pissed all over it.
This is a beautiful statement as well. Spellcasting is broadcasting.
Hey, there you go. I mean, casting. Man, I mean, you know what Hollywood. You know what the Hollywood tree is, right?
I love that. I want that on a T-shirt. But you can sell it. Enlightened.
Hey, Enlightened Mac. Tell him what Hollywood is,
dude.
Tell him what the Hollywood tree is. I'm sure he'll have a good comment on this. I mean, if all of you that don't know
Kabbalah
the Hollywood tree, just go the etymology of that word and actually what it was. It's a tree that the wizards made their wands to cast spells. It's Hollywood. Yeah. It's in the cultural atmosphere, as it were, and. I don't know, man. That whole concert to me, just to kind of wrap this up, it screams of a ritual. And again, I'm one of those guys that keeps the axe at the back of my head. I'm like, okay, I'm looking real hard at this. I'm trying to discern until I want to know more about those people that dropped dead without the stampede. I want to know what that was because I'm still interested in the narrative of the 5G relationship with the V. And
hey, so if you see a comment in the chat by James Weber, he's a buddy of mine. He's a personal friend of mine, and I'm not gonna say anything live here on YouTube that's offensive, but I will give him some shit the next time I see him. All right, and it's
is he
gonna
trolling?
Be tomorrow
is he trolling tonight?
Yeah, I'll see him tomorrow night, and I'm gonna kick his ass. So yeah, he's a buddy of mine. He's just here to troll, and I'm gonna kick his ass tomorrow night. So James, you're on my shit list, bud.
I'm gonna pop off personally. I'm gonna pop off for a hot minute. Are you gonna take some calls? Are you gonna do something like that?
No. If I don't see you again, I don't have anyone else on. I'm gonna take maybe a 5-minute break, and I'm gonna come back, see if anyone wants to come on. If not, I'll chat for a little bit, and then maybe call it a night. But okay. I'm going to take a 5-minute break regardless. If you want to come back, you're welcome back in.
Awesome. I'm going to use the link, and if you're still there, I may pop back in. I got to take a quick break myself. So
there he is.
If I don't hear back from you tonight, if I don't do tonight, then we'll do something next week.
All right. Well, hey, before you go, man, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
First of all, do you have hope for the world?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I am not one of those. I'm not one of those doom and gloomers. I do point out, some things that just don't look quite right. But I live on this. I choose something over nothing. Let's put it that way.
And second of all, is there anything that you want to plug?
Not really a shameless self-promoter. If any of you are interested in my music, it's really easy to find. It's LowryMusic.com.
Billy, get in the chat.
Music.
Oh, dude, say it again. I just interrupted you like an asshole.
No, that's all right. I was just saying.
Fucking asshole. fucking asshole.
I've got a YouTube channel where you can watch some of my videos. It's Lowry Video Music. You search that on YouTube, and then LowryMusic.com if you want to listen to my music. I don't necessarily sing about, you know, this quote unquote conspiratorial music, but a lot of my music is based in like my view of the world and like how I see it. So you'll hear some of that in it.
I love how you use the word based.
You know, it's I find myself writing about subjects that I think about when I don't really think about writing about it, and I'm like, dude, you were just talking about the shape of the earth in that song.
I did listen to some of your music earlier. I do recommend anyone who's watching right now check out some of his music, because it's just, it'll put you in kind of just this nice floaty kind of mood, man, and he makes you feel like you're welcome to hear it. It doesn't make you feel like you're like not with his style, you know. As soon as you hear those melodies and the man's voice, you're like, oh, well, we're kin, you know.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I love
for
that.
compliment.
I love that vibe of that music, man.
It's
good
just
stuff, dude.
Relaxed stuff. Oh, wait, Enlighten Mac. Here you go. Hollywood is the wizard's wand. That the wand has a frequency that could maybe be used for spell casting. I like that. I like that. Anyway, yeah. So anyway. I'm gonna jump off, and then I'll pop back in here in a little bit. And if you're gone, then we'll just talk about next week. And I do want to go through that.
Hey, even if I'm gone, maybe just check into the stream again. I might be backstage, but yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, brother. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, thanks for being on, man. We'll try to make a show weekly.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you for being on too, bud. Cheers to you, man.
Yep. Cheers, brother. Have a good evening.
You too, bro.
All right.
So that was Lowry. I'm glad that we were able to really have a good discussion tonight about a lot of things that we were trying to talk about previously. I believe this stream will be over soon, but I'm going to keep my link up for quite a while. If anyone wants to join in backstage, I'll put it up once again to the chat. If anyone wants to come in and chat about any of the stuff that we talked about tonight or anything else, you know, I'll have you in. So right there in the chat, if you would like to come in, hang out, talk to me tonight, you're welcome to do so. But that's the show. It was a fun one. You know, it was an exhausting show. Now I got more people watching now than ever. Why would I stop now? I guess. Dang, we're not. If you still want to get in the stream, you're welcome to. We're not stopping. We're not stopping now. No. Hell no. Why would I do that? But if you want to come by and talk, we will. So, if you want to, we'll watch the rest of this little video right here because I think it's pretty interesting. Not bad, right? I can't find it, man. It's still up on there. Can't find it. Oh, here we go. There it is. We're back in. So I'm not sure what that one was about, but if we...
I personally think this was a ritual for his master, which consisted in giving souls. Am I the only one who saw that he was acting a little bit abnormal?
First of all, that was not spoken by a real person. That last one. I have not seen any real evidence of this. Lighten says, the Earth is flat. Your circuit board and buildings are the components of the electrical motherboard. Watch a video called "When the Buildings Cried" documentary. Can I watch that on here? I might bring it up. It might be fun. Here in a little bit. I'll try to search that while we're watching this. The rest of this, we got a couple more minutes on this Travis Scott ritual here. Should be fun.
shoe swap. Are you willing to swap the shoes off your feet for one of the shoes in one of these bags? One rule, all swaps are final. Swap or no swap? Swap. You want this one? All right, he picks this bag. First things first, I need those shoes off your feet. All right. We got some Vans, some old school Vans we're taking in. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? All right, let's see what my guy just got on shoe swap. Bam! He got the Jaden polka dot Doc Martens. Hey, let's get these on my guy's feet and see how fly they look. All right, hey, y'all let me know. Did he make the right decision on swap or no swap? What do you guys think? Good or bad?
There we go. I have no idea what that was about. That was really weird. Let's watch this. Oh, he's up on the riser there, you know. Up above everyone. As above, so below. That's Illuminati. That's like the Baphomet solve and coagulate if you do your hands like a certain way. I'm not going to do them that way because I'm not like that, dude. I'm not like that. The crowd chanting "Stop the show" as you see the pyramid that is lit up with lava and flames, the hells erupting from the earth with the all-seeing eye in the middle.
The NBA player Kevin Durant, he recently said that he thinks that crystal meth should be legalized. Any thoughts?
Whoa!
Try to live because
that's
not
out of
working
nowhere.
Anymore, just living in this country, that's it.
Have you ever used crystal meth?
Yes, I did.
No!
Do you care if I touch you?
No.
I can touch you? Yeah. Like your breast?
Okay, this came out of nowhere, but this is really fun.
I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on Charlie D'Amelio saying that she
I believe
thinks
this has
Congress
nothing to do with Travis Scott or Astroworld, but I want to watch this again because it's really funny.
The NBA player Kevin Durant, he recently said that
Oh,
he thinks that crystal meth should be legalized. Any thoughts?
Try to live because not working anymore, just living in this country, that's it.
Have you ever used crystal meth?
Yes, I did.
Do you care if I touch you?
No.
I can touch you?
That dude's...
Like your breast? Okay. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on Charlie D'Amelio saying that she thinks Congress should ban standing for the national anthem.
We like to know this country for better things. We try to live here forever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the White House. This just in, Joe Biden has been caught twerking, giving Nancy Pelosi a lap dance
No
in the
way.
Oval Office.
You see that there, right? Like, I don't know what all that stuff was about right before that ending part, but that was pretty funny. Not gonna lie. Let's see if we can. Let's look at this one. Travis Scott concert exposed. This should be fun to watch. So that's him right there. You know, I guess he's beating his chest. He's all ready to go.
That's okay with you real quick.
What was so crazy, like people were screaming help, trying to tell Travis Scott, they was like help, the whole crowd was just going like help, help, help. And he just kept going, bro. It was like...
So, that's something I found interesting, man. Like, he just didn't stop. And there's one point, which if I can bring up tonight, man, I'll bring this up if I can find it. The fact that he made the whole crowd while people were dying, and the crowd lift their middle fingers up to the sky, to God. I didn't like that, man. I didn't like that one bit. Neither did someone in the crowd either.
That shit was scary, bro. It was so...
I slick thought they were babies, but this
It says zoom in on his shirt. Let's do that. And that's the shirt I was talking about. You got the blue people going in through this door, a portal, into his world, or the world that they want, you know. And they come out red, you know, that's a demonic thing. not saying red is always demonic, obviously, but whenever you got flames behind your head, and you're going with this devil kind of thing, and you got like flames on their heads and horns and stuff, that's kind of demonic.
This is like some type of soul swap, or
I don't know if you're ready to hear this. That whole concert was a ritual. Many people in the spiritual community have been talking about it. There are rituals that vibrate with higher frequencies, and then there are rituals that vibrate with lower frequencies.
I like what she just said right there. Okay, so they're in the media. Everything is about lowering your frequencies. It's about stealing, as Sam Tripoli says from Tinfoil Hat, stealing your loosh. And that's kind of like your good vibes. It's your good being. It's your good aura. It's the way you feel about yourself and others. And the way the media and things like this affect normal people like us who have no control over what the media tells us is they're trying to make us all feel bad all the time and hate each other all the time. And I want to repeat what she just said because that's super awesome.
With higher concert was a ritual. Many people in the spiritual community have been talking about it.
Yeah, let's go back. I like her.
they were
I like
babies, but this is even worse. This is like some type of soul swap, or
I don't know if you're ready to hear this. That whole concert was a ritual. Many people in the spiritual community have been talking about it. There are rituals that vibrate with higher frequencies, and then there are rituals that vibrate with lower frequencies.
Well, I don't. Okay.
This is all over.
Rituals that vibrate with higher frequencies may be called like church or something like that, I guess. But when you have something like concert like this, and I'll be honest with anyone who's watching right now, I'm guilty of going to concerts and participating in this stuff. And, you kind of want to just leave that part of yourself out of it so you can just have a good time. So you don't see everything that's going on because you're having a good time. You're enjoying yourself, but you're missing all of this ritualistic activity and influence that is happening when you go to one of these things, and these kind of frequencies and vibrations and auras actually enter into your system.
All over everyone's For You page, but I need to chime in. I have to give my 2 cents. Literally stop idolizing celebrities. These are the most dark, demonic, soulless fucking people you will ever fucking meet in your life. They need you to stay rich and famous.
What she just said right there. They need us. And I don't even think they always need us. But I think they do need us a lot. And we're starting to see the change in terms of, when it comes to reviewing things. We got Lowry back. But it comes back to how you.
I was listening while I was out in the kitchen, and the girl that was talking about the spirit. These are now that you're getting into the end part of this. This was the stuff I was hearing when this all first broke. Everybody was coming out and was like, this is totally a ritual. And these testimonies were coming out one after another, after another, after another, after another. And then they started getting whitewashed and scrubbed.
Hey, Lowry, can you carry this for about 2 minutes while I go to the restroom?
Yeah. Can you unshare your screen?
Yes.
All right. Hold on a second. Yeah. So what happened, at least with what she said, these were the initial descriptions that were coming out when it first happened. Everyone was like, we shouldn't have been there. We had several experiences that said it wasn't because of the Stampede. The Stampede was part of it. But they were all coming to the same conclusion that something didn't feel right there. It felt wrong. And a lot of people left before the show even started, even though they weren't in the Stampede. They weren't in the compression zone, as it were. And so when you have those kind of testimonials that happen, and then you suddenly you don't see them anymore, and it means they've been scrubbed. That means they've been censored. You have to start asking questions. I'm going to find... let's see. There's a couple of things I wanted to actually share here. Hold on. let's see. Oh, it's gonna make me download that crap. All right, hold on. But that was what we saw, and then it's gonna disappear down the memory hole of, you know, what would have been or could have been, because people won't remember it. They will essentially, it will be compartmentalized in their brain, and then they'll forget that it ever happened. And that's the whole thing.
Is that not the real problem? Is that people forget things too quick?
Yeah, they don't.
I believe it is, man. Do you remember? I'm going to say this in a term that keep us safe here. The LV shooting out in Arizona.
Right. Yeah, everybody forgot about that, right?
Yeah, real quick.
Away.
So did the media, and so did people like us. We thought we forgot about it too, man. Yeah.
Down the memory hole. I was gonna let's see.
Hey, my buddy Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I don't know. I can try to get her number for you, bud. I know you're a taken man, though.
Sarah's married. And she's also pregnant.
No, Brandon's also in a very serious relationship. He just likes to say funny things. These are my buddies are watching. I'm so happy that they're here.
Awesome.
Thank you for supporting me, boys. Appreciate you. Cheers.
This is let's see. This is okay. Where do I want to go here? Trim tab. Let's see. I think I want to go here, and then this is interesting. I don't know what to make of this guy yet, but this is basically destroying or just crushing the New York Times. This is he does Project Veritas.
Mr. Bennett, you were sued for defamation. You were the op-ed page for the New York Times. You're on video admitting that you made an admission of a false claim with a Republican political action committee. You were deposed. We've obtained a videotape of your deposition.
We did a very poor job, I did, of trying to express the thought that created an inference for readers that there was a causal link between political incitement and the shooting of Gabby Gifford.
So let me just walk you through this. This is a gamma male walking himself back out of his own intellectual bullshit that he created for himself. All right, here we go.
I didn't admit to anything.
See this?
We did a very poor job, I did, and I'm ultimately responsible for the journalism that we produced.
You admitted under oath you did a poor job. Now, what's remarkable about this videotape deposition is that, do you know what this is? It's a bullseye. Under oath, you denied that this was a target.
Do you consider this map to be political incitement?
In the sense I was using the term that day in our editorial, yeah, I do.
Typical gamma male backing straight out of their own word sandwich. We're talking about the New York Times. This was, and it's not even remotely so anymore, this was where everybody got their information from. This gamma, dude, I love watching this. I love watching.
I just think it's using violent imagery.
I'm gonna show a video after this, man.
Yeah.
This is gun sites.
You turn to the second page of this exhibit. Do you consider that to be political incitement?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Those don't look like gun sites to me.
What do you consider the symbols on the map in Exhibit 217 to be?
I don't know what they're meant to represent.
Do they look like bullseyes?
Are they? No. Now that you say that, yeah.
Now that you say that, gamma.
What are bullseyes used for?
Targeting. Target practice.
With weapons?
Yeah.
My question to you is, do you have any advice for other people being deposed to the New York Times so they don't look like fools? And there you have it, James Bennett of the New York Times. We have just confronted Mr. Bennett. He denied saying what he said under oath. This is the first in a series of videotape depositions we intend to release. Project Veritas boldly going where no one has gone before. The doorsteps of the New York Times editors themselves. Stay tuned.
So here's what I don't know what side he's on. I like the work that he's doing right now with Project Veritas. I mean, the name means searching the truth. I'm happy to be behind him, you know, as it were. And
dude, I really like Project Veritas, man. You got all those videos where there's someone like having lunch with someone and they got their phone like in their pocket and they're filming them and they say some crazy shit.
I mean, they had to have.
Are birds real?
They had to have some advance notice from somebody more in power so that they knew who to talk to and who to get involved in those things. And they've been doing this work for a while, so Like right now, I'm in support mode for him. I don't know exactly what role he's playing in all this, but he also had a lot of advance notice to do all these interviews, and obviously this happened a long time ago. This just isn't just recently.
You have to have
like, he
inside sources.
Yeah, so he, you know, I don't know what to make of him yet. Right now, I like him a lot. Oh, here's another. This is great. All right, so all of you.
Can I show Can I show this one real quick, man?
Yes,
because this is straight online. By the way, our bird's real.
Our bird's real.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of the bird?
James is asking, "Are birds real?"
He's probably talking about that one video where it shows the video that gets stuck and makes it look like you're in a simulation because the bird gets stuck in pause mode. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think he might be. I don't know. I mean, I've seen birds, but I've also seen the moon. So who knows?
I know. It's just like there's so many videos out there where a bird gets paused and it's just paused in wing mode. But could be Photoshop.
Or like they're flying through the air and they're just staying in one area. They're not like going anywhere. They're just like,
that being said, a bird, if there's a high wind that's facing, it could be floating on that wind and staying in place because the wind's passing it and keeping it.
But you're going against FE when you say that.
What's that?
FE.
What that wind could keep the wing up? That's the airfoil. That's very basic.
But also. You're talking about the spin.
No, I'm saying if there's a wind coming at a bird, it could.
Okay, so you're not going against that. You're actually going for that. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah. Well, all an airfoil does is wind passes over an airfoil and keeps things elevated.
Watch this. So you want to talk about media people admitting that they're wrong?
Is this when she eats all that crow?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, show
dude.
this one.
Let's
one,
watch this. This is fire right here. Oh, buddy, I love this one.
Really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. What was the thing that sparked it? What started all of it? And initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum, that's how it had started. But I was wrong about that, okay? So I want to correct the record. I was, in fact, wrong about that.
This is fucking gravy. Yeah, dude.
Well, my friends, the son of a bitch has done it. That's
right,
the Kenosha kid.
Yeah.
When he's not keeping the mean streets of Wisconsin clean of pederasses, he's out there exploding the false perception of reality placed upon normies with one simple trick. What's that?
But the whole point of that video is the fact that the media lied to everyone, and everyone thought this guy was this terrible person who was shooting black people in the streets during Black Lives Matter's protests when he was really defending himself and the locations that were burning down around him. Am I wrong?
You could literally show somebody a picture of a dog and tell them it's a duck, and some of them would be like, it's a duck. Of course it's a duck.
Hey, is 2 plus 2 equal 5?
Yeah, it's like this is the ultimate dumbing down of like the dumbing down. There's here's one for all of you fans of this crazy person. This probably doesn't come to any surprise to anyone in this chat, but I should just show it.
Is this Alex Jones?
No. That guy. Who knows what to make of that turd?
I love Alex Jones.
I do. I love him, but he's part of. He's part of the machine somehow. So let's
agree with that.
Let's check out Lady Gaga, and let's just.
Okay.
Let's just see what
is she a woman or is she a man?
For your love of music.
She's Illuminate confirmed, by the way, and she's also. Hey, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the Bob Dylan stuff earlier, about how these songs come to him from nowhere, she has said this before too. It's a part of the magic of the occult rituals, part of the dark arts.
Well, if you really want to wax biblical, I'm always happy to do that. I'm not a religious or dogma kind of person. I'm a man of faith.
No, I'm not even. No, like you said earlier.
My point is,
believe. You know.
Well, yeah, exactly. But listen to this. If you are to wax biblical, I mean, Satan, Lucifer, God's first son, he was the chief musician.
Huh? You there? I think cut out.
Am I here? Hello? Check.
Oh, yeah.
One.
You're back.
Yeah. So, anyway, I was saying he was Lucifer, a.k.a. Satan, a.k.a. God's first creation. AKA God growing up, AKA the opposite of God, or somebody who wants.
The harp is the godliest instrument because the angels always play him.
And he was a chief musician, and so.
Cutting out again, my boy.
Hello.
Yeah, you're back now.
Hello. I don't know why I'm cutting out. I think that it doesn't like me talking about, you know, our adversary, you know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so when you go to talking about these pop stars, all of these ball Baphomet, and sorry, I'm probably going to get cut out again and get grabbled, but it's as above, so below, and they are multisexual, and all of them either going for it, or this is
that's what's happening all over.
Yeah, or she may be wearing a prosthetic, but it's a he, and there's people out there that know his name, she. But let's just watch this. You be the judge.
I will. I got my gavel ready,
and I'll pause it too, because I know exactly. There was one. Hold on. Right. This is when you see it. Let's get right back in here. Okay, you can kind of see it here, but you really see it in a minute. So I'll play it. And right there. See it? Let's go back.
I'm looking for a scrotum.
Yep. Here we go. And
I thought I saw.
Hold on. Not too. There it was. See it? There it is. Right again.
There's a little bit of
Oopsie.
something there,
Oopsie.
I mean, if we're going down this road, we'll look at Michelle Obama.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Michael Levon and Barry. Big
Mike, you know, Big Mike dancing on Ellen, you know.
I mean, this is no surprise.
Can you bring that clip up?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of it. I got to figure out what to find. But we got to understand is like this is just part of the way that they believe the world is. They do pursue this kind of idea, both man and woman in one body. It's just part of their religion.
Not only that, dude. The scariest thing to me is not just that, but the fact that transhumanism is far beyond that. It's about merging man and machine. That's where AI comes from. There's all this Neuralink shit that comes from Elon Musk. It's everything that you say into your phone that you don't even know that you're saying into your phone. You're talking, your phone's on, it hears every word you say. You're not coming up your camera, it sees everything that it can see it. And we're feeding into this, and they got these robots, Boston Robotics and shit, and they're gonna feed that AI right into those. They got robot dogs for the police force, new canines, and you know, if I see one of them creepy crawlers, the metal robot dogs from Boston Robotics,
will take a baseball bat to it the second I see it.
No. I'm buying gallons of paint. And if that thing comes at me, I'm throwing paint at it so it can't see me. Just cover it up with paint.
That's right. You throw paint on it so it can't see.
Yeah, throw paint on that bitch, dude.
That's a really good idea, actually. Okay, so here I've got something here, and I have to kind of dig through these a little bit because, again, we're talking about a YouTube search, which, you know, if I'm using DuckDuckGo on this, but it doesn't. I don't think there's much of an advantage because they're still going to bury this.
DuckDuckGo doesn't help much, but
it doesn't help much. But let's see what. Let me just check this real fast and see what it. So those of you that might watch this in the future, this is no secret to most of the people that have been. Most of the people in Hollywood, most of the people in everything. So I've got the video here. Let me do this. Again, I just searched this, so hopefully the music doesn't suck and everything else and whatever. But this should give you what you need to see.
If it's copyright, try to mute it.
Yeah, if I hear some music, I'm immediately gonna kill it. All right, so let's do this, and then okay, can you see that?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, here we go. Is that copyrighted music? Can you tell?
Just mute it anyway.
I muted it. Okay, it's muted.
Yeah, there we go, and then hit the full screen.
Okay.
There we go.
So, I mean, what we have basically is we have they were either a couple or they were designed to be a couple before, and she has linebacker shoulders. She's clearly like 6 inches taller than Mike or
she
than
has
Barry.
Shoulders that are wider than a man's, which is physiologically
and then there's
impossible.
several pictures of her, and you can see her package. So, like, my issue was never look if she was a good person that just happened to be born tranny, but she was going to be a great first lady man or whatever. And
why was she not put in as VP?
Well, just for me,
Biden.
it's like, for me, it's
Would
like
it be too obvious.
If you're
well,
if you're
like,
actually born,
Kamala was obvious.
If you're truly born that way, you're still a good person. You can still do the job really well, and that you were elected, and everyone knew that about you and everything else. But you were a good person, and you did that. You know, I think a lot of the United States would have been like, you know, okay, this person was born weird. They were born with both a vagina and a wee-wee.
That happens.
It happens.
I mean,
and
I guess
we're told. I haven't seen it personally, so like again, I have to step back from it.
I have to think of that like I do with the round Earth.
But here's the thing. They yeah, exactly. They didn't disclose that, and they also didn't. They didn't disclose that Barry was also an adopted nephew, cousin to George H.W. Bush. They didn't disclose that they basically warmed him up to be the leader. They didn't disclose that they're all of the same ilk. Starting, I think the only the running talk is the only two questions, or the only two presidents that were voted in by the actual public were Reagan and Trump. Everything else since Kennedy has been an arranged presidency. So, you know, once you could step back and get the 40,000-foot view of it and see actually what had happened, they were all just helping each other stay in that position, and they were doing it over time. And again, we're talking about politics. It's theater. It's theater, right?
I mean, who owns them though? It's the Soros, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers.
If you know their names, so if you know their name, it's not them. Soros and the Rothschilds are very close to the top, but there are. I would.
No, the Rothschilds, I believe, are the ones. I believe they've been owning shit for years and centuries. They're generations down the line. The Rothschilds.
They're a big player, but you have to understand. You have to understand power. Power knows not to put its name out there. I would posit that there are names in a lot of people like to talk about the 13 bloodline families. Maybe that's true. We have the names. We have their names. They're out there. You can find them. And then you have this mixture. They all own each other somehow between the Khazarian mob, these 13 families, which are probably kind of the same.
Do you believe in reptilians?
I just think it's the old Canaanites. I just think it's. These are people.
Do you believe in reptilians?
Well, we call them reptilians because that's how we were indoctrinated into thinking about people who don't behave like human beings. They look like us.
Like Queen Elizabeth can shapeshift into a lizard.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say that I can just say, you know, I can't confirm it. The only thing I can say about
it. Can you confirm something else though that you haven't seen?
Well, because we've
I don't mean to argue. I just want to talk.
We've got a lot of information about the fact that they place a lot of weight in their blood. In other words, they only want to breed within one bloodline. All right. So if you want to talk biblical, it's the Canaanite line. It's the line of Cain. Right. It's the line of Cain. You know. Now the other side of that is, you know, if you still believe in space, then they were impregnated by aliens. I mean, I just think that's bullshit.
I think 95% of people believe in space.
Yeah, but once you actually break through the bubble of what NASA did to everybody, it starts to become real clear. It's just that there's a different race of people that look a lot like us. They don't behave like us. They don't have what we would call empathy. They're psychopaths.
What do you think about NPC, that thing? Like
the non-playable characters?
And the simulation theory that comes across.
Simulation.
Do you think we're in a simulation or no?
It's just semantics. Like the simulation's inside your mind. You're making up reality inside of your mind as you walk around. So it's just
semantic. We were talking about the Matrix earlier a little bit, so I was asking if you thought that was a thing. But if you're spiritual, I don't think you can believe in the simulation theory.
No, I think it's an analog experience. I think we actually are walking around in a temple that is actually a quite beautifully designed temple, and it works every time as long as you don't mess it up with, you know, shit that you're not supposed to put in it.
I like how you used the word analog as a musician compared to digital.
Yeah. So like I would prefer an analog life versus a digital life. If you wanted to be honest, I mean, I think that we're having a real experience here, and I think we're actually interacting and doing this thing real. I mean, what would be the use if this was just a simulation? Then we wake up in a chair somewhere in a room somewhere. Well, what's that then? What is that thing that they're in. If they woke up in a chair in the simulation that we're in here, then are they in a simulation too? It's like
some people say it's turtles upon turtles.
Oh yeah, it's turtles all the way down, right? Yeah, I've heard that one. It's like what's the turtle standing on? You know, it's a useless conversation to have. To me, it's like I choose something over nothing, and choosing something over nothing means I choose to put the positive spin in all this, and also when
you know why? Because you are something. That's why you choose that. Because you're not nothing. Because
I'm a person.
Something. That's
you're
why
a person.
You choose that.
You have the spark of life inside of you.
Absolutely. That's why I choose to.
If you choose not to, believe that you have a spark of life, and then guess what, your vibration is going to go all the way down until you're fucking shooting heroin in Philadelphia and eating out of a dumpster.
Absolutely, in man. And you're participating into Antifa and Black Lives Matters protests and whatnot. You know.
Yeah.
That's where it boils down to. You're so indoctrinated to the system that you think that you're always the victim and that you have to stand up for people and that you're the savior. Even though you're the savior, you're still the enemy to so many people. Even if you want to be the savior, there's no winning, really. You just
would you have it? Would you have it any other way, really, though? Because if everything was good,
I wouldn't. But at the same time,
was good,
I think things could tone down a little bit. We could tone it down a little. I don't think everyone needs to be the same. I think we'd tone it down a little bit, not fight so much, but still have discussions like we are right now. Like, we don't agree on everything, but am I trying to burn your house down?
No, it's called having open discourse.
I mean, we've tried
talking about everything.
They tried doing that before, like, just the whole thing in the past few years is if you don't agree with me, we're burning your shit down. That's what, no good. That's everything is, man. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do that. And that's why I believe in discussion, man. And there's nothing wrong with discussion and disagreement. But as soon as the enemy becomes your mortal enemy, then you're fucked up. You're in the head right there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, they chose one path. And if it's the path is only the path that they believe in, they have lost touch with what it is to be a human being. And I'm not saying that they don't have the capacity to come back out of that. I'm just saying that right now there's a lot of people that are troubled and they've lost their way. And there's nothing else you can say about that other than they're going to have to go through a certain journey that's going to either solve them or not. And
I could have been one of those people myself, man.
Dude, I was a punk ass raging lunatic when I was a kid.
How did I get out of it? I mean, I know how I did. I got myself into a position that I had less influence from other people in my life. And
I'll tell you how you get out of it. You just focus on music and don't join bands with people that suck in it.
No, I mean, if you're not musician oriented.
Okay, if you're not musician oriented, all right.
Let me make the statement, man. A lot of the times you're influenced by the people around you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if all the people around you who you love and you care about and they believe one thing, but you don't believe that, they put all this pressure on you to stay in the herd, to stay in the group. And when you don't do that, but you still love those people, they see you as the black sheep, man. And you don't want to be the black sheep. You're just like, hey, I'm just me. But
sometimes you got it.
This is what they're trying to do. It's what the media is trying to do is divide everyone.
Divide and conquer.
Your family, the families, the friends.
Divide and conquer.
Religion, any kind of.
And if you think about
they don't even want you to go into a bar to talk with other people about the shit you want to talk about. They want to ban that by, like, you have to be vaccinated to go anywhere to talk to people or have any kind of opinion. And that's the bullshit around everything that we're going through right now, man, is the fact that they're trying to suppress the opinion of the average person in the world. And the only opinion that matters now is LeBron James' opinion.
Of course. But he's on the out, so don't you worry about that. That guy's already been outed so many times.
I know, but the normies.
As soon as he starts sucking at basketball, nobody's going to give a shit about LeBron James.
What you don't get is we're not normies. A lot of people are normies, and they think LeBron James is the shit. They think, hey, I'm gonna go get that Travis Scott meal at McDonald's or that K-pop band's meal at McDonald's. They see the brands. I want to buy those Nike shoes that have satanic symbols on them from Lil Nas X. They're so indoctrinated by the satanic system. They can't even wake the fuck up and get out of of it. And just to try to be a normal person in this world is so difficult now because of all the influence from everything that's coming in from all sides, from social media, advertising, friends, family. No one can even make their own decisions anymore. And that's what I'm trying to tell people, is that you need to make your own decisions. You don't need to, like, know what's right for you, not what's right for them, okay? What's right for them, different strokes theme song, whatever.
You're on the, dude, I feel your power and I feel your energy. You're on the right path. Just be strong, man. Just stick and be strong.
Sorry to rant, man.
No, dude, that's what this is for. That's what this is for. I'm glad. Yeah. And honestly, like, you're not alone. You're really not alone. It's just we're now starting to learn how to speak out, even if we get censored. It's okay. And there's going to be a lot of disagreement, even amongst all of us that are really, I believe, woke up as much as we can be.
We can disagree, but we cannot be enemies when we're in this world. All right?
That.
Everyone who's watching right now, we can disagree. We cannot be enemies. We still have to stick together, even if we don't agree on every little thing. All right, that's the point. We need to stick together on this.
Indeed,
100%,
and I
man.
Agree 100% with that too. Okay, officially now I'm signing off because I was supposed to sign off a little bit ago, but I gave you another hour, and we'll do something next week.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, keep in touch. Hey, go the link in the description below. Subscribe to this guy. Listen to his music. Thanks, Lowry, for being here tonight. I appreciate it, man.
All right, this was round 2.
Yeah,
we'll talk soon, man. Cheers, brother.
All right, thanks a lot. Cheers, bro. All right, so what a great stream so far tonight. I'm gonna stick around. I still got viewers. Let's keep going. Hoff ain't gonna give up on this. And once again, if anyone wants to be on the stream or be backstage on the after show, I'm posting the link below. And there it is. It's right there in the chat. If you want to come on the stream, if you want to be backstage, or if you want to join the after party, you're more than welcome to. But we're gonna keep going on this stuff right now here. I think I still got some Astroworld stuff that I was getting into that I still wanted to continue with. But what a great guest! And me and Lowry are going to hopefully maybe do our own show soon sometime. I think it's a good, balance of things where, I'm kind of the guy who asks the questions and he's the guy who answers them, even though I already know all the answers. It makes it fun. Everyone can join in there. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll get to them. And here, let's get back to this Travis Scott stuff here. I'm still on, baby. Let's get back to this.
So you are the fucking star. They are not. There's a fucking video of him literally. It doesn't even look like he's in his own body. It's like something took over his body while people are dying and he's going, yeah. I have to put it in.
Here it is. Hold on, let me pause it, zoom in on a little bit. There you go. If you notice,
I'm freaked out because did you see how that was glitching? It's like I'm in my altar is right across from me, and I swear my spirit guides are like, "Bitch, stop watching these fucking videos."
This girl's so smart, dude. This girl is so smart. I want to marry her. I hope she's single, but she's so smart. No offense.
If you were at that show, or if you've been watching these videos all day, light a white candle, cleanse yourself. This shit is not a fucking game. I couldn't even get to the part where they zoomed up on his face and he looked dead, literally on the inside out. These people are rich and famous, and they don't get rich and famous because of luck.
That's okay. So Hoff here is going to tell a little story. All right, Hoff has been a musician for nearly 20 years. It's hard to speak in the third person. But I always wanted to be a famous musician. I'm decent at a lot of things. I'm a okay guitar player. I can sing some background vocals. I can produce. I can play a little bit of drums. I knew a little bit of, piano. I know a lot of people are way more talented than I am. I'm not saying I should be a star like Travis Scott. No way. Nor would I ever want to be. But maybe back in the day, I did want to be kind of like in a Green Day band or something, or something like that, like My Chemical Romance back when I was a kid, because that's when I grew up. That's my age. I'm old, I grew up in that early 2000 emo stuff. I was never depressed, really. I just liked the music, and I liked the chicks, to be honest with you. So, I never really listened to the music. I just liked the beat. I liked the rock. And once I found out later on the lyrics and stuff, it's crazy. Once you start figuring this stuff out, that everything is meant to influence you in a certain way. It's meant to affect your frequency, your vibes, your aura. It's crazy. So let's get back into this.
It just doesn't work that way. And everyone wants to be rich, everyone wants to be famous, everyone wants to be an artist, but there's so many more talented people that are not known.
That's what I say.
In the world, opposed to these fucking bogus ass fucking artists that we listen to daily. This shit's low vibrational. You need to start acting like you are the star and stop fucking making these people famous. We are in a spiritual warfare right now, good versus evil. And people literally walked into a fucking portal for him and Miss Jenner to keep living the life that they're living. Everyone wants to be famous. Everyone wants to date the rapper. Everyone wants to date the artist. Everyone wants to date someone that got notoriety. And at what cost, though? At what cost, though? A lot of these people could have millions of people screaming their name. There was people even on the emergency trucks, and they didn't even realize that they were helping him take the souls of other people. And they were a part of this fucking ritual because you guys are so obsessed about idolizing people that don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Start giving a fuck about yourself.
Literally like in fucking hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe. You couldn't see. Like, just imagine all the people they're going to find tonight who was in that crowd, who nobody could see, who nobody could hear, who passed out, and everybody was just trampling on top of them the whole fucking concert. Like, I'm thinking it's probably going to be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like, I kid you not. Like,
that comes back once again. This witness said there's probably going to be like 100 people dead tonight. And he might be exaggerating for sure. If he saw like 2 people in your mind, if you're in that sort of like trauma, that might seem like 100 people to you. But he's not the only one who said this. This is what I have up right now. But he's not the only person who said this.
The VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People was getting pulled out who was fainted. And the people were the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning them black and blue. Like I never seen death in my fucking life, bro. Just by me alone, it was probably like 10 fucking people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't.
That's hard to hear right there. Actually, that's very hard for me to hear from someone else firsthand. I mean, I'm not there with them, obviously, but.
Responding, they moved to the next person. It was nothing they could do. Like this shit really fucked me up and like really spooked me tonight. Like that was like some demonic shit. Like, and
dang, man. So here's the deal. I've gone for 2 hours 53 minutes. I'm going to do the first 3-hour Hoffcast. Let's keep talking until I get there. I was going to sign off, but I think we can maybe watch a couple other things real quick, which I think is really important. I like Aussie Man reviews. Do you guys like Aussie Man? This guy's been around for forever. He does great things. He gives to charity. He's hilarious. But he did a video recently on the Astroworld thing, and I found it pretty fair. He didn't go too conspiratorial, but he was talking more about, the bands who had incidents in their crowds, the way they reacted to them. So let's watch this for a minute. Did you hear Travis Scott do that once? I don't think we did. Can you believe that? Okay, water, a bottle of water. A small bottle of water, $7. And then that plastic bottle's gonna go in the ocean and be there forever or into a landfill. $7. They're taking our lives to ruin the planet. You know, not that I'm a environmentalist or anything. It's all evil is what I'm saying. Both parts are evil. That's my point. That's hard to hear. And the people that were in the crowd, I've been in concerts before. I've been in festivals where you are dehydrated and you want to stay up there and you want to see the artist. But you'll stay up there, you know, maybe you'll hold a pee in for a little bit so you can see that hour and maybe you'll back out. But I've never been in a situation, even in big festivals, myself personally, been to many rock festivals, metal festivals. I've never been able to get out of the crowd. I've had some moments where the crowd leans and you start to feel a little bit scared and suffocating, but I've always felt like I could get out of it. I've never feared for my life in any of these situations. What was the difference here in this? Was it the amount of people? I'm not sure. Was it the energy of the show? Possibly, and I think that's part of it. But it's just a crazy thing going on here. Biggest fail I've ever seen. I love Ozzy, man, so much. That's so weird. That's so weird. Travis Scott title called A Demon Manifests. Oh, man. Enlightened, if you have a Cam or a Mike, join me out backstage after the show, man. I'd like to talk to you. Bullshit, dude. This is up to the sky. And no, if you look back, let's look back. Someone in the crowd goes, "Don't do that, bro." Good man. What a good person who said that. What a level-headed, smart, intelligent, just on the right path kind of person who said that. These people come out. They try to tell him to stop the show. He puts his fingers up to the sky. He tells the whole crowd to while people are dying out there. Oh, this is crazy. There are people climbing up on the cameras, the people filming it for the big things, and they don't even want to listen to these people. Damn. I mean, I don't want to end on a bad note, alright? So, but that's crazy stuff, right? That's crazy stuff. Where are we heading, everyone? Me and this guy, we're both doing the same thing. Even though he saw it. He saw it. Sometimes you just gotta stroke your chin and ponder. And sometimes you gotta get angry. Sometimes you gotta love. Sometimes you gotta accept. Sometimes you gotta realize that you're wrong on things. Sometimes you gotta realize you're wrong about some things. But about this tonight, I don't know if we're wrong. When the death happens, and no one is to blame, are we wrong for speculating? No one? No one gets... I mean, apparently there's lawsuits. None of that matters. This Travis Scott is so rich, he could pay to do 50 concerts with that many people dead and still get out of every lawsuit, and people still will flock to his shows. You know why? Because like I was saying earlier, the danger of it. People now will think, oh, no, Travis Scott, his show is dangerous. What if I survive one? Maybe I'm going to buy a t-shirt that says, hey, I survived the Travis Scott show. I'm sure they're already out there. But makes you ponder, right? Like, who would go back to one of those shows? Who would still follow this person? Who accepts that this happened and it just blows over in the wind? None of this stuff is being talked about. The mainstream media will never talk about anything that we showed you tonight. And what you got tonight was gold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so thankful to have Lowry here. I'm not saying we're right on everything or that we're wrong on anything. What I'm saying is we need to open our minds to more things than what we're just being told via what the news tells us or what the our phones when you scroll on whatever news platform you get your news from tells you. Think of your sources. Think of where they're coming from. Think of who they're owned by. Think of who owns the people who own what they're telling you and what's being censored right now in the world. I think it all boils down to this. I mean, not this necessarily, this Astroworld incident. But I think this is a great example of thousands of witnesses being silenced. And the story still being confusing, even though thousands of people saw it and were there. If this isn't enough evidence, I don't know what to tell you in that case. Enlighten says my camera mic is deactivated at the PC. Oh, it's fine, dude. It's fine. I hope you join me for my next stream, and please subscribe if you want to see the next one. If not, that's cool too. I hope you had a good time tonight. But I just want you all to keep your eyes open. We went for over 3 hours tonight. This is the longest Hoffcast of all times. I don't know how I'm going to upload this to anything else. It's going to be such a big file. And I truly love you all. I really, really do. And I hope you all continue to watch, try to get more information. I want to have more people on. And if you ever need anything, or if you want to talk to me personally, Hoff, my email is in the description below. And Mitz, she gets to me a lot. I need to talk to her more often. And I'm sorry about that, but I will respond if you get to me, okay? And I'll try to have you on if you're willing to be on the show. Enlighten says, news, north, east, west, south, as the world is a stage, fake news. That's a beautiful phrase to go out on. All the world's a stage and we are merely players, performers and portrayers, each another's audience beyond the gilded stage. That's Rush, Limelight. So once again, thank you all for being out here tonight. I appreciate it. I'll let you all go. I'm going to be doing a lot more here, so keep in touch. Ring the bell, subscribe, and like. Thank you all. I love you. Hoff signing off. Cheers.